Oh yeah, welcome to How Can She Snap? This is a Marvel Snap podcast dedicated to the filthiest of casuals. I'm the kid, one half of the Super Snap Bros, here with my brother from the same mother, Mr.
NBD. Why?
No big deal, baby. Shout it loud, shout it loud. We have a nice, very special guest today, what the kids would call a friend IRL. We have Mr. StankyKang, not the content creator of content creators, but, welcome to our humble podcast. We'll see if you, not being a content creator, crumble under the pressure of the 11 people that watch this, So, hey, StankyKang, why don't you tell everyone where we can find you? Your socials.
Find me in the 313 in Detroit because I don't got any of those socials.
That's it. Catch them on the streets. Oh, well, thanks for coming on, StankyKang. We're happy to have you. We had a nice little spicy episode today, I think. We got some Proxima Midnight came out, who's a 0-7 into discard decks. We'll talk about her. We're going to talk about the spicy AF OTA changes that just came out today. A lot of changes there. Pretty awesome. Then we'll talk about maybe no big deals, Infinity Conquest woes so far. We're going to talk about... We're going to get into some of the spotlight caches and then maybe a little bit of AI art at the end. Let's get it! The kid, Mr. No Big Deal, and StankyKang. How the hell are you, boys?
How you doing, Stanky?
We living, man. Living. It's a leap year, dude. It's great.
Still February.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm good, man. Just like playing Marvel Snap. Didn't play too much this week. But I love the last 2 weeks. It's all about the discard.
Did you pick up the new card?
Oh, I had to pick. It's a discard card, man. You always have to pick up a discard card, no matter the cost.
I agree.
I can't disagree more, but I mean, I picked it up. I'm not a discard, bro. I mean, the only thing less I'd pick up is this damn Cerebro card, but
no.
Every card's a Cerebro card, kid. As long as it has a power value.
I don't want to hear it. What do you guys think about the new card so far? Proxima Midnight kind of taking the meta by storm a little bit. I see a lot of discard, especially on Tuesday. It was all discard, man.
Well, I'll go. I mean, we did a 4-cost tier list, and I was like flirting with let's put her in the S tier. It's a 0-7 Captain Marvel. Like, Captain Marvel's a 4-4. This is a 0-7 Captain Marvel. It's got to be S tier, right? And I think I might have been a little wrong on that. I might have got a little crazy there. She seems pretty sick. Discard does have its own problems without Chavez, of course. Do you go Dracula? Do you do the collector stuff? It's tricky. It's tricky, and I don't know if the discard deck outputs enough power to like compete against say Phoenix Force kid that you've been playing, say Living Tribunal. A high Hela roll, a big Thanos roll. We'll get to Thanos later. Thanos is still a completely different deck now, but I don't know if it could put enough power to keep up with the highest power decks, even with a 0-7 that goes to the lane you need her to go, which is crazy. And then it doesn't really have a lot of disruption either, right? So I think the card itself is like really sick, but discard, I have more questions than answers right now. Because I've just been getting bodied on the ladder the last week.
This is what I was trying to say. I was like, this is going to be like Dagger. A great card and a shit deck. But I mean, this card is way better than Move. Let's be clear. I mean, as of last week anyway.
I don't know, man. Move's interesting.
But we'll get into the new chain. We'll get into it, But Move is interesting. But discard, I mean, even Dara has been playing discard, high, top 20 ladder. So he's been having success. But I think I saw Revis have a take that was like, when the card first came out, and I think it was a pretty cool take, and I kind of agree with it. He said, he likes Proxima, it's a good card, but it's too fair in the meta. This card, like you just said, doesn't put up enough power. It's like you have Thanos that's cheating shit out with Lockjaw. You got Call, all the stuff. Thanos can just be absolutely insane and ridiculous, and then Hela can be ridiculous too. So it's like, discard's got like nice, fair, good power. You can't really cheat that much. And the other decks that are at the top are just good at cheating out, huge cost stuff.
Yeah, the other fair decks have like, Shang-Chi Enchantress in them, right? So it's like you got a respectable amount of power with a bunch of tech a lot. In a discard, like what tech do you have? That's kind of, I found all that out the hard way. I mean, Revis probably just figured that out immediately because he's smart, but it took me like a week of just losing games to figure that out.
Yeah.
But I still think the deck's like pretty strong. Like,
Yeah.
I find the best build actually is like a Black Bolt stature type of build. I did one build where you do Moon Knight, Black Bolt, and Samurai. So you have 3 opponent discards. So you really like fuck your opponent up like pretty bad with a deck like that. The problem is it's pretty rough into the discard matchup because you're just giving them free discards. It's rough into Hella too. As long as if you don't hit Hella, like you're fucked. And you're giving them free discards. And a lot of people are just playing discard right now. So it's just kind of like a bad week for that deck. But against every other matchup, that deck felt really strong. And I never got super into like Black Bolt stature when it was a thing back in the day, but I started playing it. It feels like really, really, really strong and like, easy snaps because you see what you're discarding. So that version of the deck to me feels like the best right now. You could throw Gambit in there too if you want to get crazy.
Yeah,
Stanky, what do you think of the new card?
I was literally gonna say, yeah, I started the week, I got Proxima Midnight. I first started with like a regular like discard deck, like the Meek, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, like you were exactly saying, right? I was like, I wasn't putting enough power, so I was like, what else is out there? So I was like looking at those decks, exactly what you were gonna say, kind of stole my thunder on there. And I love it because I got that Black Bolt variant where he's like saying shh all the time. So I know that card like
that was beautiful.
Put him to sleep. And but the thing is, you literally said, I'm gonna repeat everything you kind of said there. It's like if you play against a discard deck, which this week everyone's playing that discard deck, like you're just like, well, I'm just gonna give you all those free discards. But I thought that it's awesome in every other matchup, right? I was playing a little bit of Conquest on that. I ran a couple that was pretty sweet there. So, and I do run the Gambit in there because, the new X-Men's coming out like next month. So fired up to throw some Gambit in there. That's and great. It's literally what you were saying too. Like that's all disruption, right? Get rid of the cards and you're also destroying some of the cards with Gambit on there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You got 4 disruption cards and you're putting out a respectable amount of power. So
exactly.
You get like 2 20 lanes with that deck. You get like a 22 and a 24, but you kill like 3 or 4 of their cards. And that's miserable. Nobody can play into losing 3 cards out of their hand. Like it's like there's not enough cards in the game to it's like almost half the cards you draw. Like it's crazy. So
yeah,
I had aspects out, but yeah, it feels really, really good except for against this card.
I had an idea on my way to work to have like a really annoying deck that's probably really bad, but I was in my head, I was thinking it was gonna be a lot of fun. It's just to have just a straight disruption deck. Just have Wong, have Proxima in there, but then have like Gambit, Moon Knight, Black Bolt, and just get rid of all their and then Yondu as well, and just be a complete idiot and get rid of all their shit. And I think that'd be hilarious. And like even like Corvus too. Like throw Corvus in there and you could ramp shit out maybe. And maybe throw an Odin in there as well to discard their last shit on turn 5. I think that could be a cool, fun deck that's probably horrible, but probably really fun once you like ice their entire hand and they can't do anything.
I played like a Silver Conquest against a deck like that, and he was running Negasonic as well. So it's just more stuff that doesn't let you play. Hilarious. It's just hilarious. So like he's murdering. His Yondu was in there, and just all the discard, everything was in there. Just Eliath. He had Eliath and Negasonic as well. So it's just straight up like, no, you cannot play. It's not like deck.
Yeah, I was gonna name the deck "The Kid Lost All His Friends." And then also and if they are able to play a card, then you just throw Gambit and you just kill them.
Yeah.
And I was also thinking of just putting like a Zabu Darkhawk package in as well. This was pre today, so I was like, so all the disruption, just like throwing in like rocks and stuff.
Well, to
just be hilarious.
To your Gambit point, I think we'll get to OTAs later, but I don't really want to talk about Gambit during the OTAs, but Kyra's gonna be a lot less Kyra's running around these days. And I get playing Gambit last week when I was trying to prepare for Proxima to come out, like you're just binking off the Kyra every freaking time. You bink, the Scar, bink, Soulstone. Oh, Soulstone, yeah. Oh no, it's Kyra. It's just bullshit. Like you're just hitting. Everyone's playing Thanos. This is a joke. So it's just, even if you hit like a Mind Stone, like and Kyra's not up, like that's dog shit. Even if you hit Kyra, that's still dog shit. It's 3/7. I've been playing Swordmaster 3/7 still. I don't know if it's gonna get it done, but it's just like but there's gonna be a lot less of that now. So Gambit, I think Gambit, like we're doing snap stonks, like the old segment. We used to do snap stonks. I think Gambit's
yeah.
Gambit stonks right now.
Hell yeah. Let me ask you, Discard Boys, a question here. What do you think about Dracula in this deck?
You go first.
And then I have a follow-up point because I thought about something the other day and I actually forgot to message you.
Trying to see. I don't think I actually ran Dracula actually with like that deck. I mean, I think the only time I ran him was probably not even the Agatha deck. No, I didn't run it actually this week. So which type of deck? It's the regular discard deck.
It's a discard, yeah.
Yeah, with
like a MODOK discard,
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at right now. Because like the one I ran with him, I didn't run it there, so I probably have to replace that card. Did you run it? No big deal.
I said it last week. I think you have to choose between Collector, Helicarrier, or Dracula. I think when Helicarrier's in your deck, it's just really awkward to have Dracula because you MODOK and then there's just like 7 cards, and unless you like Wong or something crazy, like Dracula's gonna hit one of your bullshit Helicarrier cards, which is like 2 power. So I guess it's always just some bullshit, the Helicarrier. Like you played enough like X Mansion to know like most cards in the game like suck. Like Dracula's gonna hit like Captain America, he's gonna be a 4/4, so like on average. So that's not even like a low roll. So I think I like Dracula in the deck. I don't know which build is better. I think if you're playing Wong, for sure you should cut Dracula and just go all in on the Collector. But if you're cutting Collector, I like Dracula in the deck.
All right, hear me out.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you tell me what you think of this. Mm-hmm. It's a turn 6 MODOK deck. Mm-hmm. No Helicarrier. Dracula's in it. Mm-hmm. Proxima's in it. Throw in Iron Man.
So you play Iron Man on 5? Is that the idea?
Yep, in an empty lane. That way, that lane 0. MODOK on 6. 14 power for free.
Boom.
And Dracula still gets to the APOC.
Yeah, it might work. I mean, I haven't tried it. I don't know if 14's enough. Is kind of back to my original.
Well, for like a third lane?
Yeah, man. Dude, these tribunal decks are crazy out here. And the tribunal boys are they're only going to go stronger now that the top 2 dogs have been, the Lockjaw, the literal dogs have been hit real hard. And the tribunal has not been hit at all. So, man, I'm telling you, like that 14 it's going to be 32s across the board. You got to either play Enchantress.
All right.
Or put out, or be a Phoenix Force boy and put out more power than that.
Listen. We had Kier Nimbus on here last week or 2 weeks ago.
Scroll.
You're gonna take out Lockjaw and you're gonna put fucking Super Scroll on those lists, and then the Tribunalists are gonna eat shit. All right, that's what's gonna happen.
No,
I like it.
I mean, I kind of like that though. The kid, what's called, you put the Iron Man down, like it's peekaboo for sure. Like out of nowhere, like the 14 comes with that. That's kind of cool. That's a really cool theory. I might try that out this week.
Yeah, I don't know. It's I've just been on that Phoenix Force. They got my boy Forge, but it's okay. Jet's got a plan.
Look how they massacred my boy.
But yeah, I mean, Proxima seems like a cool card. I mean, it seems like a really cool card. She seems pretty good. We'll see after this whole shakeup that happened. Maybe discard will be in a little bit of a better spot because the top decks kind of got a little bit of a hit. So maybe there'll be something. I think this is just to me, it seems like a discard staple from now on. Still seems like a great card. Like
she feels sick. Like when you do play the MODOK and you got like a Swarm or an APOC in your hand and Proxima's in there with him, like it feels real good to watch her drop down and just freaking get in there for 7 and it's just like it's a lot of value. Like it feels real nice. But I don't know if it's enough. I think it's close though. I think they're really close. But I mean she feels like a clear MODOK card, and Corvus felt like a very clear Hela card, right? I think they could go in a deck together. Like you could just throw Corvus in your MODOK deck, but obviously now you run the risk of discarding the MODOK, right? So if you have enough discards in there, like I saw Lambie was playing something with like Corvus and Hellcow both. So I assume that's either like I either hit my MODOK or I don't, and then I just play MODOK. I think that's just what he's thinking there. Is it with Corvus and Hellcow and also Blade, Colleen, whatever, like you still got like 5-6 discards there even without playing the MODOK, right? You're probably hitting the Proxima in that deck anyway, right? So maybe you could do something like that, but it just clearly seems like a MODOK card, right?
Yeah, it's interesting. I really like the bringing back of Stature and Black Bolt too.
Mhm.
You know, especially not too much Mobius running around. So stature gets to be a 1 almost every game. You know, so it's kind of cool. Silver Samurai is making a resurgence in some decks too. So I like the brewing that's been going on with this card because it's not just straight Modoc. There's people trying a lot of different kind of shit.
Yeah,
You know, even Hoagland on day 1 is doing like Moon Girl shit, right?
Silver Surfer's kind of interesting. So have you seen this stuff, kid?
No, Silver
So
Surfer, no.
here's the thing. So this card, Lady Sif, is 3, right? And
Yeah,
Surfer is 3. So that's it.
that's great. That's
But
kind of cool,
This is a
actually.
real thing, by the way. I'm not like just pulling this out of my
Yeah.
ass. I think Binks was playing it. I think Hoogland was playing it as well. It's a real deck. It's kind of interesting. I played it for a bit, but that's another one where I ended up losing and I just went to something else. But yeah, it's
that's
kind of
cool.
I think you could play Sarah too, and then you just don't play your Lady Sif until you play your Sarah. Then you just go Sif on 6. But yeah, you could have Proxima, Sarah, and it's always going to be your highest card. So it's like the only deck where you could actually target her other than just play Modoc, right? So
yeah,
it's kind of interesting build as well. And just like a 0/7 in a Surfer deck is like pretty nice.
Oh.
You could actually fit a bunch of tech and interruptions and interaction in a Surfer deck as well. So
yeah, that's really cool. That's a really cool. You play a Chad in there too, right? He's just a 3/10.
Oh yeah, all day. Yeah, staple.
That fucking Chad.
That's just, if you're playing any deck based around 3s, the Chad's gonna be the first guy in.
100%. Yeah. Easy. Put him in there before Silver Surfer.
Yeah.
He nets more power overall. Fucking Chad. It's great. I wonder. Actually, now that you say that, like, how would she be in like a zoo list where you just have like, you just have Sif in there, and she's like one of the highest power cards, right?
Yeah. I mean,
The one you cut, yeah.
Maybe use like I don't know.
Turn 6.
It'd be tricky, right? You'd have to play. Well, that'd be a blade for sure, right? So it's like you're trying to get her with the blade, but then it's like, how do you protect? Like, are you playing Blue Marvel, Khazar,
No.
Onslaught, like
Khazar, sure.
Valkyrie,
Those are nice.
what?
Yeah, that's true. I was gonna say Khazar, maybe. Yeah, you just put him down on 4 or 5. Probably
That's
not
true.
Blue Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
Or Blue Marvel you play on 5, and then like you just play Lady Sif on turn 6 with
True.
some zoo cards.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you could have Blade and Sif, and then yeah.
I don't know. Who knows?
You pretty much always get her down on 6.
I mean, that's just like a fun deck. Like Zoo's just shit. Let's be honest. But like, it's like a garbage.
I don't know, man. Ant-Man feels really good right now. I'm gonna throw.
We're gonna fucking talk about that later.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm excited.
We're talking about before today.
Yeah,
Zoo
yeah.
is shit. All right. Zoo's not good.
Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah.
It's fun. It's fun as hell. Don't get me wrong.
Before today's okay.
I play me some Zoo. It's a fun time, but it's like I get my ass handed to me most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Anyways, Proxima, pretty cool card. Pretty cool card. I'm excited to have her in my collection because like there'll be a time when discards good. It's decent now. I can't say that's not good, but I think Proxima's just a good card to have.
I think it's tier 2. I think it's a T2 deck. I mean, maybe I'm underestimating because maybe I'm shit at the game, but it feels like really good most of the time until you play like the top tier stuff, and then it's like, okay, they're just like they have like 5 power more than me on average, and that's just kind of annoying, And I have no way to like stop it. I have no Shang-Chi, like I have nothing, So
yeah. Too fair.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's talk about like some random decks we kind of just been playing. Here's like a helicarrier deck.
Yeah, with the Wong, you do have the power. With a deck like this, you do. It's obviously not consistent, but look, you got the Wong Gambit. Well, let's kid read the deck for.
Okay, I was gonna say I will say the decks. We got Mike. We have Morbius. We have the Collector, Swarm, Gambit, Dakin, Corvus, Wong, Proxima, Modoc, Apocalypse, Helicarrier.
Yeah, so day 1 I was playing basically this exact deck, and Jared Leto gets to like 30 power in this deck. That's Morbius. Yeah, like just absolutely absurd scaling. Yeah, and it's nice because you have so many discards, and this is a good example of just a deck to not play Dracula in, right? Just the Dracula is going to get hit by Corvus or Gambit, or it's just going to be a bunch of Helicarrier shit, and your Dracula is going to be dog shit. So you don't play him in a deck like this, obviously. But yeah, you got 3 scalers, Meek, Morbi, and Collector. If you draw them early, you see a Modoc Wong, you snap. It doesn't happen that often. Sometimes you have to resort to Corvus, and that's always an RNG fest. But Wong Gambit's pretty fun too, and yeah, you have all kinds of cool play lines in a deck like this. Yeah, I really like it.
Yeah, this is a cool one. Corvus is cool in it too. Yeah,
Oh,
I like this.
I did beat Hooglin on stream with basically this deck
Oh.
in a conquest.
That's funny. You actually did message me. You're like, I don't think this is the real Hoagland, but I just beat him, and it was a proving grounds. Let's be honest. It was a snap. Like,
it was a 10-0. It was a 10-0, baby.
it wasn't a fucking try hard, all right?
Motherfucker.
But yeah, you messaged me. You're like, I don't think it's the real Hoagland, and then I pulled up the stream. I'm like, bro, it was Hoagland.
We take those. That was a game where I drew the MODOK Wong, so you get that, and he was playing like She-Hulk, Moon Girl or something, and he got the Moon Girl She-Hulk, but it wasn't enough. This deck outputs an extreme amount of power.
Yeah, he was trying to do the Moon Girl Proxima stuff. He was messing around day one.
Oh, he did it. It wasn't good enough.
Yeah. Oh shit! Look at no big deal.
It's my only win. It's my only win of the last week. All right, take it right and get
Let him have it. Let him have it. All right, man. Hey, good job. Good job.
Thanks.
StankyKang, what kind of shit have you been playing? You have like a what's it called? You're in Black Bolt stature kind of stuff. Shit, I don't think I have one of those.
Well, I mean, I played that stuff up until like today, right? With all the fun OTA stuff. I did a lot of I was really bored at work, so just playing a little Agatha with all those decks with Corvus Clave, and then obviously the one thing I was playing a lot of last week, I was playing No Big Deal about. It's my my wheelchair Jimmy deck, which is the ramp deck. That's why I call it until you have it.
Yes, I love it.
Running the Corvus Clave and stuff, just running that was unreal. I just crushed everything, got so far into Conquest with that deck, and that was just really fun to play and stuff. So just this basic stuff like that. That's why I said I didn't play. I played so much discard the last 2 weeks with Corvus Clave and Proxima Midnight. So looking forward to this OTA this weekend, because when we get to there, I've already been playing some deck today. I'm having a lot of fun with Paul Rudd. So that's pretty much what
Spoiler alert. Are you more of a ladder man or more of a conquest man yourself, would you say?
Oh, for sure. Just just a ladder guy, man.
Me too. Me too.
Just playing,
no big deals
on decks.
Yeah, no big deal is the only one being an idiot on the conquest here.
Well, if there's a hot location, I have to play conquest, number one. But number two, I just try to get one infinite border. So that's my goal every month. I just want to get one of my avatar's color. Once I get one, I stop playing conquest. It's too stressful, man. The infinite conquest is very stressful. So if you get a 5-0 run together, to me, that's magical. So
I was just thinking about how fun ladder was, and then you said hot location. As you said it, I felt the pain in my chest. I was like, fucking goddamn it. I was like, a fucking hot location. They're so bad.
You felt the pain in your chest, but Zura felt his dick getting hard, when I said that.
The guy loves it. Oh man. I don't know. I hate hot locations.
Shout out to Zura, man. I love that guy. He's great.
We're not gonna get into hot locations. We're not gonna rant about that shit again. Buddylean, he's a nice deck builder that on the Twitter Xverse here. He put out this deck, which looked really, really cool. I really enjoyed this one. He was having a good time too, and some people seem to enjoy it as well. It's a Blade, Swarm, Moon Knight, Corvus, Silver Samurai, Proxima, Black Cat, Stature, Black Bolt, Spider Woman, Hela, and Helicarrier.
Oh,
so that's a pretty spicy deck. It's pretty cool actually. I don't know. I didn't really play it too much, but it's got a lot going on. You have the free discards with Stature. Stature turns into one. You have the Black Bolt Disruption, Silver Samurai Disruption, Moon Knight Disruption. You have Swarm in your hand to let shit rip. Hela you could play on 5 if you Corvus early. And then Helicarrier just gives you a bunch of random shit. And then Spider Woman, he was saying, is usually a 5/12 in this deck because you play it later on.
Well, this is just a much tighter version of the bullshit I was running on game one that I threw together. This was my best brew too, but mine was I don't think I had Black Cat Hela in mine, but I definitely think the future for this archetype, if the play rate ever calms down from 11% or whatever discards at right now to 4%, if it ever drops off, something like this is going to be insane. And I think the key is having Moon Knight, Samurai, and Black Bolt stature all in the deck at the same time. It's just like, I think it's just too much. I think there's a breaking point with just cutting your opponent's hand up, and I think that the 3 cards is that breaking point. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's just what it felt like playing it. It just felt like felt like when you're playing like a, RIP Darkhawk, but the like old Darkhawk list where you get the Korg, you get the Rock Slide, you get the Black Widow, and it's like you don't see exactly what your opponent's going through, but you could feel that they're dead inside, And that's what it feels like when you play like Moon Knight, Samurai, Black Bolt. If you get that line, you feel their angst and their anguish, and it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. It's like similar to when you would like before there was Miss Marvel and you just like Prof X on 4, like you just completely shit on them, and your priority going to turn 6, and you're like, it's over.
And the old Spider-Man's coming down to him the next day.
Yeah, exactly. That was great. Or like when you wave on 3 with old Galactus, you're like, it's over. Spider-Man in hand. Oh, the good old days. But yeah, this is a pretty fun list. It's pretty cool.
It's a cool idea on how to use Corvus too, and how to mitigate his downside, which is basically just like, because there's no collector in this deck, right? So he's just basically saying Corvus is like getting rid of my hand, which is like really annoying. But if it hits Helicarrier, then I have a bunch of random cards, but I'm also ramping, right? So I have like more energy. So you could actually like play out these freaking like random Helicarrier cards, and I mean, it adds like a really fun gameplay loop, right? It's kind of like playing like Quinjet, Agent Coulson is like similar, right? You get these discounted cards. I mean, they're discounted in a way that you have extra energy to play with. So that's kind of an interesting way to use Corvus as well, right?
Yeah, no, 100%. Mm-hmm. And yeah, and then you get if you don't discard Hela and you have her, then you just get the Helicarrier back on the board, right? It's 6/10, which is pretty sick.
That's your nut for sure.
Yeah. What else? I've just been.
You're not in there like your Drake's on a plane. I've had it.
There it is
with these motherfucking Drakes on this motherfucking plane.
Fucking anacondas. It's no longer a kid-friendly podcast here.
It never was.
It never was. Oh shit! But yeah, I just been grinding Jets Phoenix Force again. Just a great fun deck. I love it. I can't wait to just grind. My wife's going to Vegas for 3 days. She can do whatever she likes. I'm gonna be grinding Conquest with Phoenix Force. It's gonna be great. And then the Snap Judge League starts in a couple days too.
Oh yeah, I'm nervous now. I was real confident before this last week. Now I'm very nervous. I have no idea what I'm gonna play.
Oh yeah, I never really cared about my tenure there. I was gonna just lose either way. So
I hope you play Jeet though. Are you gonna play Jeet?
100%.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I love
Which
it.
version? I don't know what version yet, but I'm 100% gonna do that.
Yeah.
There's no question. But yeah. Should we get into the OTAs? You guys have any more decks you guys want to talk about?
No, let's get it.
Hela is Hela, and Thanos is Thanos this week, and those seem to be the best decks. Tribunal, counters Hela. Thanos is just probably the best deck, better than everything else, honestly.
I wanted to come here with a spicy new Lockjaw Hela list. And it lost in round 2 of Infinite Conquest. So, I don't feel good bringing that to the people. So, we're back to the drawing board, and, we'll figure something out for next week.
Yeah, I think for the kid this week, the Conquest is not going to be, Infinite Conquest is not going to be Hela, which I used to do because it wasn't a great deck, Now it's like one of the best decks. So, like, I can't meme an Infinite Conquest with that. I just look like a tryhard being Hela. So, it's going to be Phoenix Force to the moon, baby.
Yeah. No, it's good. I love that.
StankyKang, Conquest. You playing Infinite Conquest?
Yeah, I probably will. I'm gonna probably see what decks I'm gonna grind out with this new OTA for this weekend. Probably play a little bit as well. Because I also don't want to do anything this weekend. Been raging too much all over February during my birthday month, so kind of like lay down, pet my cat, and play some Conquest.
That's it.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah.
No big deal. Let's talk about the OTAs, man. Let's talk about the OTAs. I'll get them pulled up here.
Yeah, so I think it was a good one. Macro wise, I'm very happy with it. I want to make that clear that I'm very happy with it because I'm gonna sound like an asshole when we read the first card. here. All right, but overall, I feel great about this OTA. I think it's they swung for the fences. They hit a bunch of really important cards. They did a lot of cards because we haven't had one in a while. So shout out to Second Dinner. Like I love when they do shit like this, man. This stuff makes the game like really fresh and fun and exciting. I look forward to this stuff all the time when they do it.
Yeah, I overall, like I said, I was reading it at work today, and I was like, "Holy shit!" They went in. They went in. And just so the people know, they pushed the patch back a week. So normally the patch would be next week. It's not. It's going to be March 12th is going to be the patch, and then I think the next patch after that is April 6th or something like that. But yeah, March 12th will be this patch. So we're gonna have 2 weeks of this meta. So they really like just swung for the fucking fences here. And I think before we get into this, I think it's important that I actually read what they said here because it is kind of good info.
For sure.
It said like they enjoyed the diverse metagame in February, every week featuring more than 10 decks above a 50% win rate, but none of those decks crossing any of our balance thresholds. So like. Great fucking metagame, which is what we've been saying for the last like 3-4 weeks, whatever it is.
Yeah,
because it has been. It's been awesome
since the blob nerf. Basically, since the blob nerf, it's been sick.
Yeah.
That's really.
And
what
they
it
said,
comes down to.
and they said that's actually kind of incredible, as we expect ebb and flow across those numbers to occur naturally. Other card games might stand pat here as long as they could, but we manage Marvel Snap a little differently. They're basically like, here we fucking go.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah. They said they believe a core part of the fun is solving the metagame that's on the move every week and exploring revision to existing cards, which is true. You don't want it to be stale. I kind of love how they shake shit up like this. It's great. So that means we'll pursue change for its own sake occasionally, and this week is such a case.
Change your ways.
First one, Adam Warlock gets the Spider-Man 2099 treatment. He was a 2-0, then they just fuck it, make him a 5-drop. 5-4. StankyKang. What the hell are you saying about this? What do you think?
It's an interesting change because I thought about it as well, like where this card could fit in, just theory crafting earlier today, just because this was the first one, right? I saw a lot of people's thumbnails on YouTube. It's all Adam Warlock. He's a big character like the Marvel universe as well. So like, and no one uses him really, right? Because you spend it on 2 and then you don't really have any power unless you do have a card there. 5-4. So I was like thinking what decks like that could actually fit in. I think just top of my head, like there's like maybe Mr. Negative deck, something like that, Pixie coming up. But for the current week, I was actually an interesting thing someone was talking about was running was that deck, running him in ramp decks, having that in there, like the 5-4 and having that extra draw power like later on in the game for that. So I thought that's kind of interesting, and I'm gonna try and make a deck after I stop playing all this other stuff that I'm playing right now. But that's currently what I'm thinking. I definitely want to try out Adam Warlock this upcoming weekend, though, before I do Conquest.
Yeah, the thing that I thought of immediately, because no big deal, I know you're going to rant, so I'm going to talk here first.
I didn't say shit.
I know. No, I know. I see you licking your lips. I'm like, I'm just going to jump in before. The thing I thought of first when I saw this was, okay, cool. Like 5-4, that's the kind of a shit stat line. Like Leech is a 5-3, but Leech actually like fucks your opponent on turn 6, right? Most of the time, making them have to top deck. This card is like a 5-4, so if you play him on 5, like okay, you get an extra draw on 6 if you're winning in that lane. Is that even good? I don't know if that's good to get an extra turn 6 draw unless you're like a crazy combo deck, but can you afford to lose that power and give up your turn 5 for one extra draw on the last turn? I don't know. So what I immediately thought was maybe he's a Corvus card, kind of like you, StankyKang. Like maybe he's in a ramp deck. You play Corvus on 3 and then you play Adam Warlock on 4. And then maybe you get 2 extra draws, or you force your opponent to play suboptimally in the Warlock lane, right? Maybe that's a thing for him, but I don't know. 5 seems to me like too much energy for him, for his effect. Doesn't seem to be worth it to me. I see this change. I'm like, okay, they're trying it. It doesn't excite me to try anything new, but maybe someone will think of something. I don't know. No big deal. The floor is yours.
I have a lot of thoughts. I wish I would have wrote them down. I'm not organized at all. To your 5-4 point, Crystal's a 3-3 is way better than this as a 5-4. Just throw that. Just think about that for a second. Okay, Crystal, guaranteed draw. Does draw your opponent a card, but you know what's not guaranteed? Playing a 5/4 and winning the lane on fucking turn 5. All right, that's not guaranteed either. So it's not like it's for sure drawing you a card as a 5/4. Like, it's a horseshit stat line. So number one. Number two, you made the Spider-Man 2099 comparison, kid. I just wanted to. Shuri Enjoyer made like a pretty cool move deck. I don't know if you've seen this thing floating around. He's playing in top 20 Infinite. It's got 2099
move bounce.
Yeah, move bounce. It's an interesting deck, right? Like,
Sick.
maybe 2099 like doesn't need to be in there. Maybe it does, right? But this reminded me of Owatu's change. Where we had this dog shit card, right? This 1/1 Owatu. And then we change Uatu to a 1/2, and he's still a dog shit card. Like, this is fucking horrible. What are we doing? Like, I don't know if this is a hot take. Old Adam Warlock might be better than this 5/4. Like, I haven't heard anybody say this yet, but just think about it. Like, if you bast on 1, your Adam Warlock's a 2/3, and you could draw cards for the rest of the game. You draw your whole deck out. Like, what is a 5/4 Adam Warlock doing? Like, it does nothing. You draw 1 card. Crystal draws 1 card as a 3/3. And it's a shit card. Crystal sucks. I play her all the time. Trust me, she's horrible. All right, like, I try to make that card work. I'm trying to make Adam work. Man, I don't know, man. And StankyKang, the ramp thing is interesting. That's the only thing where I think is maybe a little bit interesting is the ramp stuff. But the problem with that is you have to cut Electro now. So,
I was gonna say that.
Yeah, you can't Sandman yourself. What's the point of drawing all these cards if you can only play 1 at a time, right? So you can't play Sandman, you can't play Electro, and that's like kind of the whole appeal of ramp, right? So you have this totally different ramp build. Maybe that's good. I don't know. You do like Corvus Wave with Hella, probably. Maybe you throw like Blade Jubilee, something like that in there. That might be like an interesting brew for sure. StankyKang, like as you brought up. But other than that, I mean, I'm not seeing it. I don't know why they constantly do these fucking side grades on these cards. It makes no sense. They did it with Hulkbuster, they did it with Beast, and now they're doing it with Adam. It's like, dude, like, it's just, if anything, in this one, I think this might have been a nerf, like, straight up. So with Pixie in the future, I think it's a sick. But until that card comes out, I mean, what the hell is a 5/4 Adam Warlock going to do? Like, probably absolutely nothing.
Well, yeah, you can't put him in Mr. Negative decks. It's not as good in Mr. Negative decks.
Yeah, he was an 0-2, yeah.
Ravona. He was a 1/0 with Ravona, right?
Yeah.
I used to run Adam Warlock in my Ravona Galactus deck back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty cool. But yeah, it's like nerf there. Now, do you think, like, maybe not ramp, but like can he be thrown in these MODOK lists with Corvus? Is there room for him? Because then you have more of a chance of drawing your MODOK, right?
Say you discard your Adam Warlock, like.
Well, yeah, then you just discard your Adam Warlock, whatever, I guess,
Okay, how is that better than Crystal?
Your opponent doesn't draw a card?
But what if you don't? What if you just play him and you're not up in that lane?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. No, you're right. I'm just spitballing here, but you're right.
If you need the MODOK and like that's your win condition, like it should be okay to give him a card draw, right? Like
probably
giving him 1 card draw so you can ensure your win condition, like that's a fair trade, I would say. Like and again, it only costs 3 energy. It's a 3/3 is much better body than a 5/4 and is pretty much guaranteed to go off unless they're a bot and they like soul read you with a Cosmo or something, right? So bots like to do that sometimes. But yeah, I don't know, man. I hate this change. I don't know what I think they're wasting their time with this. This is a bullshit change. I don't even know the lore. I just know he's supposedly a big deal, but like you just made a shit card to continue to be shit, in my opinion. But hey, this is all day 1 reaction too. I haven't tried to even play with the card yet, so who knows?
How many times do people actually just play Leech out? Just play spend 5 mana to play Leech. In Shinnot decks, that's basically it.
Yeah, I mean, once in a while, the Thanos player will do it, right? If they have the right matchup, they're in. But I mean, Leech has a has a way more powerful effect than this guy. Draw one card.
Yeah, no, I'm saying what.
Shut off your opponent's turn 6.
That's my point.
Yeah.
That's my point. Is that you'll never play Leech by himself. Rarely, only in Shinnot decks.
Yeah.
Sometimes Thanos will if their Lockjaw lane got to 40 power, and you're like, yeah, fuck this. I'm just gonna screw you over.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter, right? They already cheated, so then they don't have to cheat with Leech.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's just like 5/4 is such a shit stat line. Yeah, I don't see him. I mean, I don't see him getting played too much, but I guess we'll have to see what happens. Maybe people smarter than me will figure something out.
There's an easy way to cheat him out to get a certain broken combo that he's worth cheating out. You do wave into Adam, right? Like StankyKang was saying, if if you actually draw something that's actually worth it, maybe I don't know. I'm not seeing it. I think all those things, like the old one might just be better for all of that. Like I suspect, just because it's cost 2.
Yeah.
You can pump up with like the Forge or something. You can Forge Adam before, And,
yeah, you're gonna wave out 4 power while your opponent blobs, and then it's like, all right.
Yes. Oh. Or Dr. Dooms or something, right?
Yeah. Kind of shit.
Yeah.
And then you maybe draw another card, but probably not, because if you wave, their 6-drop is gonna fuck over Warlock. Yeah. Dr. Doom just fucks him over immediately, 50, right? Like. Yeah. Anyways. Yeah, probably shit change, but they're trying. Whatever, they're trying. I'll give them that.
It's nice that they touched Adam Warlock for sure.
Yes,
I'll give them that.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Zabu. Zabu is untouched, and Darkhawk taking strays here for the cat. Darkhawk was a 4/0, and now he's a 5/4. I kind of like this change. This is kind of cool. I think it's a pretty damn big nerf to Darkhawk. One, you can't Zabu him anymore. That's number one. And 2, it's way more difficult to play him on turn 6 now. So you're a lot of time. I would suspect you're going to play him on turn 5 more often. So he's going to be susceptible to Enchantress, Shang-Chi, and Rogue more often, and he's going to be bigger. So he's going to be Shang-Chi-able more often. Now the only time I see this not happening is in like Annihilus decks, which he's in a lot of them, I guess, right? Because then you can Annihilus on 5, and then you can Demon Darkhawk on 6, right? And then I guess you can play him on 6 with a 1-drop, but like, what 1-drops are you playing on 6? Like Korg and him, maybe? I don't know, but yeah. Anyways, big nerf, but I kind of like it. It's kind of a cool change. I like what they did. This is what I wanted them to do to Shang-Chi, is make a fucking 5-drop.
Yeah. Stanky, what do you think, buddy?
Yeah, I mean, I was going to agree with Alex, a lot of that stuff. The interesting thing because of Darkhawk now, it's kind of like a Ronin, kind of like the, let's call it Double Dinosaur kind of thing now. He kind of feels more like that with like being a 5/4, because all those cards are all 5 as well, right? And then you can't Ravona this anymore on top of that as well. And the Zabu is changed. So I kind of like the change too, and I think I was like reading too that this card's like 10th nerf or something like that. As soon as this card came out, it's been nerf, changed all along the way. So I kind of like the change because it is a lot of there's been a lot of rocks and hawks and stuff like all over the meta all the time before. So kind of like the change that they made at 5/4. We'll see how it goes. Maybe it'll die out finally, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'm happy. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, kid.
I was gonna say one quick thing on just to build on that. Sorry, nobody does. I was gonna say like the most egregious thing was like having Darkhawk and another 4-drop on turn 6 with Zabu in play. Like him and Shang-Chi on turn 6 was just fucked up. Him and anything on turn 6, Darkhawk plus tech card on turn 6 was just fucked up. So now that can't happen, which is great.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
I agree with everything you guys are saying, 100%. And I don't want to look a gift horse in the mouth, or I don't think 2 wrongs don't make it right. All these expressions, basically, like they didn't hit Zabu, and that's unfortunate. I would have liked them to say just to at least take 2 power off of Zabu. Let's try out the 2/0, especially now that we lost Adam Warlock. I mean, we need a premier 2/0 stat line in the game. Like Angela, why can't Zabu occupy that space, right?
Well, she's not anymore. Sorry.
I would have liked to see that, but maybe they're planning a change for the patch for Zabu. I don't know. But this card has been, we did a whole podcast dedicated to power creep before cost, and this guy is the face of that for years. So
He was.
Call Obsidian's the new face of it, but this guy since release has been an absolute broken card. He's so much better than 95% of the forecasts in the game. There's usually 4 or 5 of them that are maybe around his power level, but he's always at the top of the list. It doesn't really matter. And you know, you got these cards like Rescue and Jessica Jones and Drax and Captain Marvel, and I mean, I got forecasts open here, even Werewolf now, like Namor, Stegron, White Queen, Hercules, like, I mean, Crossbones, like, dude, just think of how much better Darkhawk was than all those cards I just named. I'm literally just looking at my screen and naming random shit. Like, dude, he's so much better than all of the 4-drops in the game. So if they couldn't make him balanced at 4, why not move him to 5? And that's kind of a shadow nerf to Zabu in a way as well. So I'm here for it. I really like this change. I don't know if you're playing him on 6, kid. I think you're playing him on 5.
I think so
basically
too.
Every time, and you probably play like a Mystique on 6 or something, you know?
Yeah, that's not about it.
Ravona build, maybe. You don't have to play with Zabu now, so you could do like you know, none of the rock cards, like Rock Slide's not 4 anymore either. So maybe you do like some Ravona, Goblin, Iron Man, Mystique, Darkhawk build potentially. I think because, you know, Mystique works with Iron Man too, gets discounted by Ravona. All, you know, I don't know, could be something.
Yeah, but I mean, even if you're playing him in a Nihilist deck, like you can still play because you're going to want to play a Nihilist on 5 a lot of times because they're going to fill up the right lane if you Sentry, right?
Yep.
And then so you could play him on 6 with a demon.
For sure. Yeah, Darkhawk Demon's a great play for sure.
Right. Mm-hmm. So I don't know, it's good. And then I remember I read a thing from Glenn, actually, one of the answers. Someone asked about like, oh, you know, like this kind of fucks over Mr. Negative decks kind of thing, you know, just crying about that. And what Glenn responded, you know, clap back, and he was like, well, Darkhawk was the worst performing card in the negative decks when he was in it, so basically stop crying. Like,
yeah, he's like an 8 power card in that deck. He's like 8 power in that deck. He's a shit card in that deck.
Yeah. So yeah, someone was not. So anyway, no, I'm just saying, people are gonna say, oh, but him in negative. You know, it's just now Darkhawk can't be touched by Ravona and can't be touched by Zabu, which is huge.
And you know, shout out to Glenn for that comment. That's great that he said that. But also, if you're you know, this is the Filthy Casual podcast. If you guys haven't been you know, degens for over a year playing this game, you're new to Marvel Snap, and all that content. The developers of this game months ago, maybe even over a year ago at this point, said they're basically never going to balance their game around Cerebro and Mr. Negative. So if a card ever comes out and you go, oh, that's like Blob, you go, Blob's a broken negative card, or you go, you know, some 5 power card like Omega Red, you go, oh, that's a broken Cerebro card. The developers do not give a fuck about that opinion whatsoever, and they've said this explicitly. So that's really what it comes down to. If those decks ever get broken, then they're going to actually address the card Cerebro or the card Mr. Negative, like they have already. They've already nerfed Mr. Negative, who's broken in the beta apparently, which when I didn't play. But I guess he was like a 3-2 or something. I
think he was a 4-4 or something.
Oh, was he 4-4? I thought he was a 3 or something.
He might have been a 3 at first. I don't remember.
Yeah, so
I didn't play a beta. I played, you know, last year in January.
Yeah, me neither. But yeah, so I'm not trying to dunk on anybody. I'm saying if you're new and you haven't been, you know, degens following the freaking Marvel Snap Discord, like, you know, most people don't have time for that shit, understandably. They said they don't give a fuck about balancing around Mr. Negative or Cerebro. And trust me, as a Cerebro player, this is absolutely real. They do not give a fuck about Cerebro. Took away our Luke Cage RIP Cerebro 3.
That's great. But yeah, I mean, like, I want to say too, like, I love Darkhawk. It's a really cool card, one of my favorite cards. Like, it's a really, really nice deck to play. Mm-hmm. And so this is a huge hit to Darkhawk, I think. Mm-hmm. But good. But it's a good change because, like, yeah, it was too fucking broken at 4-drop. 4-drops are too ridiculous. So this is good. They put him to 5. You know, all the big strong ongoings are 5. Devil, Dino, Darkhawk, Ronin.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, StankyKang, any final thoughts on Darkhawk? Pour one out for your boy.
Pour one out.
All right. And Forge. Oh man. Just when I start playing fucking Phoenix Force, here we go. We have the no reason nerf to Forge. God damn it. Fucking, I had to go ask Jet for advice, you know, and then in the Phoenix Force Discord.
Oh man.
So Forge was a 1-1. Now he's a 2-2. But honestly, I think they had some good points here. I think they said he was like top. Yeah, Forge has appeared among the top 5 most played of all cards in the game for some weeks over the past few weeks. So, you know, it's a bit much. So we're dialing him down a little bit. All right, sure. I mean, this is like, to me, this is not a huge change, but it's just kind of an interesting change. I think it's a nerf to Destroy. You know, Destroy got a little bit worse, which is kind of good, I guess. I don't know. People are mad about Destroy. I never really saw Destroy as a problem, to be honest. I kind of like when Destroy is good, but yeah, I don't know. This one's okay to me. It's like whatever. It's a whatever change for me.
Yeah, we did a one drop tier list a while back, and I was like lobbying to get Forge in the S tier. Man, I think this card was just like way better than almost every one drop in the game, other than Nico Minaru. And it is interesting that they don't touch Nico, but they touch Forge, right? That's the only thing that's weird to me about this change, is like you're touching Forge before Nico. I think Nico's like still better, was always better, still has a +2, you know, in there in her rolls, and that's not even the one you want. And so it's kind of interesting that it's kind of like they hit Darkhawk, but they didn't hit Zabu. You know, they hit Forge, but they didn't hit Nico's. So I find that a little interesting. But yeah, I mean, I think this card is absolutely insane how it was. So I don't have any problem with them hitting Forge personally. I was a Forge abuser since he was been a one drop. Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, I was gonna say for Forge for me. I mean, I'm just curious how they're gonna use him now, because I don't think I'm gonna use him in my Destroy deck when I play it now anymore. Like you said, like there's so many other cards you can play instead of him now. Who I'm gonna replace him with is gonna be interesting. And I guess no one really. I mean, how good is Bounce anymore anyway? Because that's the only other deck I could think of. And you were saying Kid Phoenix Force, that's the only other place. But I don't know where Forge is gonna be anymore if you're gonna play him at a 2 right now.
I think I would still play him in Destroy personally, and I think you probably still play him in like Brood Surfer shit. I think you still play him in Destroy. I think it's fine on 2, right? You do like Forge, and then you do like Deadpool Carnage. Like that's a pretty good line, right? You know, something like that, or you know, Forge, and you do like, I don't know, Deadpool X-23. You top deck the Venom or the Deathlock, and I think it's fine. You know, I don't think it's going to be an issue. You know, one more power for Venom to eat, and you know, there you go.
Yeah, and then I think the Forge versus Nico. I think Forge was just in a more variety of decks than Nico. Nico hasn't. I don't think Nico's been. What decks are Nico? Nico's not in too many decks.
I don't know. I just feel like if you need a one drop, you just put Nico into deck. No, maybe that's just me.
I mean, look at all the top decks. Like what decks have Nico? I mean, I've been grinding Phoenix Force, so like I'm biased. It's, you know.
well, Destroy, right?
It's in that deck.
All the decks that Forge are in also have Nico, basically, right?
Does Destroy play Nico? Yeah, they do. Nico's sick in Destroy.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But like not Thanos, like not Hela, not any Black Knight shit, not the
Forge is in none of those decks.
Well, you watch your mouth.
What?
You're right.
Thanos, Hela, Black Knight.
That's true. You're right.
Yeah.
That's a good point then.
I don't know. Yeah.
Bounce. Yeah. I guess just Bounce.
Look, I'm not the Bounce expert. All right. I'm just saying, like, you know, just this seems like the second best one drop, and they hit the second best one drop. I don't know. All right. Sure.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Maybe. Kid, you were the one super saying Nico's the best by far, right?
Nico is the best, 100%.
Yeah. Okay.
I know, that's why like this is a whatever change. I don't understand this one. I don't think Nico needs to be changed. I think Nico's fine. Like whenever I see Nico in a deck, I'm not like, oh, this card's fucking broken, nerf it right now, you know. Mm-hmm. I like Nico. It's cool. It's got good variability. I never thought that way about Forge too. I thought Forge was cool as a one drop.
Yeah, I agree.
Like
I agree
Forge,
with that for sure.
Yeah, like Forge was a 2-drop and no one fucking played it, so they made it a 1-drop, and now they're like making it a 2-drop and no one's gonna fucking play it. Maybe they will in Destroy, but
yeah, that's what I was saying about like Forge right when it was 2. It's like we didn't really use them, so I'm kind of curious how much it'll be used now in the upcoming patch. Or
we'll see.
I don't love the overall direction of pussing out on the big buffs. You know, they keep taking out all the big buffs. I thought they're fun. You know, like Elsa, and then we got Hulkbuster was a 5+5 buff, and you know Forge used to be the +3. But you know that was when Absorbing Man was a 5 power card. You know, like so of course it's broken. Like you do anything to that card, it's like a, you know, multiplying as a 4/8, multiplying a Brood. You know, I don't know. Actually, I guess that combo doesn't even work. But I'm just saying it was in that deck. So yeah, I don't know, man. I like the big buffs. I thought if they're gonna put them to 2, maybe do like a 2-0+3 or a 2-1+3 or something. Yeah, I don't know. Is that too good?
Like a 2-1+3.
Yeah, let's say that. That's a 2/4 of total power. You know, it's a 2-drop. You have to use 2 energy to play it.
Yeah, your Deadpool's 8 after 1 eat.
Yeah, hey man, welcome to the destroy deck. You know,
Pretty good. Yeah.
I like letting them cook. You know, let them cook.
Yeah, I liked Forge as a 1 cost though, but
yeah, it's a big nerf to Falcon for sure.
Oh, that's true. There you go. It's a good call. All right, Forge, good job, second dinner. Ant-Man.
Paul Rudd.
There it is. Paul Rudd was 1/1 +3 power if your side of this location is full. Now +4 power if your side of this location is full, making him a 1/5. Pretty good. I mean, he was kind of not great, right? And now now it's like martyr nerf, right? I didn't play with this. I know, no big deal. You're sending me screenshots and stuff. Take it away, or StankyKang. Why don't you tell us first?
Yeah. Paul is hyping up Paul Rudd.
I know. As soon as anytime Ant-Man, let's call it, gets a buff or anything, get to use my variants, even the pixel variant. And I was, I don't know if I sent it to you, right? Where I was like, hey, look at us. Who'd have thought? Anyway, no, I love it. So I actually, like, the first deck I made today, I was thinking about Ant-Man. I'm like, oh, I think it's gonna be obviously all the Spectrum decks and stuff like that with the ongoing stuff. This card is nuts, 1/5, right? Just gonna have casually on your lane when you fill it all up. So I've been running Ant-Man right now, and it's been unreal how strong this card has gone. And I didn't even think about because you kind of mentioned the Black Swan Zoo decks, because I played a little bit of Zoo earlier this month too. I kind of want to try out that with the Dazzle and all that stuff later on, probably this weekend as well. I'm gonna play a lot of what's called Snap over the weekend. So it's gonna be fun.
What are you thinking of starting with, Cav? What are you playing first?
No, so I already made what's called the Spectrum deck, right? So you got Ant-Man, Armor, Colossus, Mr. Fantastic, just all the ongoing cards, right?
Yeah.
And
does it have Thanos in it or no?
No. Well, okay. Is there a version of that? I've never played with that.
No. I was asking. Some people play ongoing Thanos. I don't know.
Well, I think cool. Is that a thing? Look up.
Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, because a few of the stones are ongoing.
That's true, right?
Yeah.
Power Stone, Soul Stone are ongoing, and then you can just zoo around and it's pretty good.
That's pretty cool. What do you think, B?
I love this change, man. I think this is a pretty legit card now. It might be a sleeper card, but I said that about Proxima Midnight, and maybe I was wrong about that. I don't know, but I mean, I guess this guy's gonna run into the similar problem of Proxima Midnight, right?
Yes.
Where it's the decks you play him in are Zoo decks, and that's not great.
Dagger is a 230. How many times do you see Dagger on the ladder? You don't.
You're not seeing her in the T1. It's not happening. So, yeah, I don't know, but I think with the new Ghost is really interesting. Some build where you just start your deck with Ant-Man, Ghost, Valkyrie, and whatever you do after that, I think is really, really interesting. Because that's just a auto win on the lane. That combo alone, and because he's a 1/5, even when you don't pull it off, I mean, it's still a freaking 1/5. It's 1/6 with Khazar, it's 1/7 with Khazar Blue Marvel, and yeah, I mean, this could get out of control very quickly on a 1-drop. To your point, kid, I always liked the idea of a 2/7 martyr. I don't know why they kind of went away from that and moved her to a 1. I always thought that was kind of silly, but yeah, I love this change, and I think the jump from a 1/4 to a 1/5 is a very big jump, just from someone who's really tried to make 1 cost work.
It's true, and maybe this does push the decks into helps them push them maybe into a tier 2 kind of thing.
Maybe, yeah.
Because I'm not. This is not something that's going to happen, but if you onslaught him, he's a 1/8 or 1/9. Sorry, which is pretty ridiculous. You have Kyera in those decks. Your 1/9 is surviving, right?
Yeah.
Your 1/5 is surviving with Kyera in those decks.
if you're playing straight Zoo, you absolutely can run Onslaught because you throw the Onslaught like in the same lane as Khazar Blue Marvel a lot of the time too, and it doubles those effects as well. So, and you could even run Cosmo in that deck too. In a few decks you could actually run a Cosmo, so it's kind of interesting.
You actually run Adam Warlock in that deck because you're pulling another 1-drop to throw down on turn 6.
I used to. I run the old one, yeah.
You throw him down, he's 4 power, bro. It's huge.
No, it's fucking sad days. I can't believe that. Whatever. I already had my rant.
You play Corvus in the Zoo deck. You get Onslaught and Spectrum.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. No, because you need to dump your cards. You can't be discarding your little 1-drops. Like,
yeah.
The point is to just fill your hand.
Little Dracula dump action.
But it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. I mean, I like how they're because Ant-Man was just a piece of shit most of the time.
Yeah.
now he's actually like, all right, a 1/5. That's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Awesome. All right, America Chavez. Forge gets nerfed. America Chavez. They need a new 1-drop to follow. This was a 2/3. Now it's a 1/2. Interesting. I think it's a little bit of an interesting card. Don't think it's going to be good, but it's more interesting now. Better than a 2/3. I think they saw that nobody fucking played this card, and yeah. And then I think someone asked about this, like, hey, America Chavez. Before this change, they're like, hey, nobody plays America Chavez anymore. Do you have plans on changing it? And then like Glenn, last week was like, to be fair, nobody played the old Chavez either, but we're gonna have a change. So yeah, I don't know. 1/2. Is this worth giving your? It's a 1/4. Is it worth giving a random card plus 2 power? Probably not. But 1-drops make it easy to play and slot in. So I don't know.
I think it sucks. I think it sucks.
Yeah.
Like you said, kid, you said not very good. I think not very good is probably the, I don't know. Some cards they're just scared to try to even like make an attempt to make them playable. Like I don't know what it is. Like we just talked about with Adam Warlock, and now here we are with America Chavez. Like, are they so scared because she was like the most decked card in almost all of Marvel Snap's history? Like they're just scared to make her playable because it sounds like a dog shit card to me. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I can't see myself playing this card, and I'm like thinking to myself, and I think everyone's like this. Like we have so many America Chavez variants in our library, and I'm never going to use any of this stuff.
So many splits,
so many black and whites. I'm not going to use this. Why would I play this card? Yeah, I mean, it's weird. Yeah, they just changed forward, and all right, America Chavez is going to get this. Be the 1-drop now. I'm probably not playing this one either.
Like, why not make it +3? Like, is it going to be that broken as a +3? It's random. Like, I know +3 is like that, like sweet spot where it just like can just completely break the game. Everything that's been +3 has been nerfed. But like, this is a random card. Like, sure, you're gonna hit a Brood once in a while. Sure, you're gonna hit stuff like that. Iron Man. But like, Bast makes Iron Man a 5/3. Like, I don't know. I think like a 1/2 plus 2 power is just still, like you said, just dog shit, and I don't think it's really going to be played. The fact that it's a 1-drop just makes it a little more interesting, but like, I mean, with 12 deck slots, I don't know where this slots in, but maybe it's like, I can't think of one.
Yeah, I mean, the old one, like we all tried to play it because it was right around when Shaw came out, right? And it's like, okay, you put Shaw, you put Brood, you put Absorbing, all these cards in your deck, and she was okay in that deck, but ultimately you cut her for like just better 2-drops like Jeff or something, right? Because it's not reliable. So to your point, kid, it's like, yeah, at least with Forge you have an argument of you know exactly what you're hitting with Forge. You're always gonna use it on your Deadpool or whatever other degenerate shit you want to do. But yeah, I mean, this shit's random. Like, even if you bounce it, I heard people say, oh, but you could just bounce it and play it again. Okay, like, what? I'm gonna bounce in my 1/2 Chavez to play. Like, this is not a winning strategy. Like, you're just gonna lose to like actual cards when you do this stuff. So I don't know, man. This is same thing I said about Adam Warlock. We got more weird side grades. 1/2 suck in Marvel Snap, by the way, unless they have some absolutely crazy effects. Like Snow Guard's got a crazy effect, but for the most part, they kind of suck.
Nico.
think the only other thing I was thinking about when I thought about this card too was maybe you replace in a destroy deck, replace with Forge to do the same effect, but it's like 2 RNG what like that card's gonna be, and just like that's the only other time I thought about using her, and I'm like, still no, I'm changing for something else.
Yeah, it's like it has to hit Deadpool,
It has
right?
to.
Like if it doesn't hit Deadpool, I mean, you're kind of
Exactly right. So it's like,
Yeah, this card would be more interesting if it was give +3 power, right? And if it breaks the game, just fucking delete it next week. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
You know, like I don't know, whatever.
I almost like it better as a 2/3, honestly. I would have liked it better if they would just like moved her to a 2/4.
Yeah,
The
that's more
1/2s are
interesting.
like feels really bad to play.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like a raptor. It's like having like a raptor on your board, basically. You know. Like,
the only good thing about this change is it's gonna be really easy to identify bots next season. So someone's playing 1/2 Chavez, I'm fucking snapping immediately. Immediate snap condition. I see a Chavez come down.
Braid
You
is
guys
not
hear
a
me? You see
cheating
me on the
bot.
streets of Marvel Snap. I'm gonna fucking snap you if he's playing Chavez instantly.
Yeah.
All right. And here's the big one.
The good boy.
The good boy who apparently was bad. Lockjaw just took a nerf hard. Was a 3-2, now is a 4-5. StankyKang, give us your first thoughts.
Oh, it's sad, just person that loves dogs, should do this to a dog this week. Like it just feels like they just don't want us to play that type of game anymore, because it used to be like the once per turn. Now it's like what, two, right? You get two turns.
Still once per turn.
Oh, it's the once per turn, probably.
Yeah.
It's the 4-5, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think like that big thing that they were talking about, like the cheating energy kind of thing, similar to like the Jubilee, the Iron Lads of the world, like this kind of not how the game should be played, because like they're, you have to use a card to do all those kinds of effects. I think that's what they're trying to get at, and just like it kind of sucks because lockjaws are real fun, those decks, because it is the RNG. You never know what you're gonna force up. You don't know what you're gonna get when you throw a card in there, but it's great, right? Because you can pull out something awesome with the Hela, the Thanos type of decks. Not gonna see too much of Lockjaw, I feel like, after this. I mean, there might be some, I guess, decks you could run him, but yeah, it's sad. It's one of those cards that is gone now, I feel like. I mean, how about you, B?
Yeah, for sure. Like Kid, you were saying with Darkhawk, right? Like you love Darkhawk, but like, you understand that they had to hit it. That's how I feel about this change. Like, this is one of my top 3, favorite cards all time in Marvel Snap, Lockjaw. Like I love this card. This is like the second card I unlocked from the token shop in Series 3. And I have never stopped playing it since I unlocked it. Like it's so much fun. I don't even care if it's tier 1 or not. Like, man, I love throwing shit into the good boy. And he splash, and it's great. It's just I had a lot of great memories with this card. Had to put the dog down like that. So yeah, definitely pour one out for Lockjaw. But I think it was warranted for sure. This Thanos deck got completely out of control. I think, especially in the last week, everybody's like, like I said, I've been trying to grind gold Infinite Conquest. Is you will run into a Thanos player, and it's the exact same list. And what makes it ridiculous is the Lockjaw for sure. So I'm happy they did that. I'm happy, let's get back to old Thanos. It's a lot more fun and interesting, I think. Just, got some ramp option, maybe throw a Psylocke in there, do some cool ramping stuff. But I think it's a good change. And I actually like that they give him 3 power. That like matters for sure.
Do you think he's still going to be played in Thanos? Like, I'm wondering if like they, what's it called? Thanos list, maybe more of them run Black Swan. You Black Swan on 3. That way you can get that free roll Lockjaw on 4, right?
Yeah.
I
think that's just. I think maybe, but it's probably still just a worse deck, right? Like just straight up, because you have to play Black Swan Lockjaw, right? Whereas before you were playing like, Lockjaw on 3 into like I don't know, like Mind Stone Jeff or something, just some crazy, and then a freaking Scar pops out of the or you play like Lockjaw into Kyera Mind Stone like into the Lockjaw lane, and Devil Dino pops out or whatever. It's just and then you play Scar on the next turn and call Obsidian. It's just ridiculous, So
this is like a hard nerf.
Yeah.
To the Lockjaw and Thanos decks, number 1. So like, will he even be played in Thanos decks anymore. I don't know. This is like a pretty hard nerf.
Yeah, I think people are gonna start trying to make the Thanos deck without him, but who knows? Maybe they'll come back.
Well, yeah, because like now you just like, all right, on turn 4 I can play Lockjaw, or I can just play Call Obsidian, a 4/10.
True. Yeah.
Right? Like,
card.
why wouldn't I just do that instead? You know, and then take Lockjaw and just put another tech card in the deck.
Yeah. Or if you're playing Thanos ongoing, you play Khazar. You know, let's go.
Oh hell yeah!
And then you play Paul Rudd.
And then also, yes, also this change makes Hela less consistent now. The Hela Lockjaw list, right? So you can't turn 3 Lockjaw, turn 4 Jubilee, and just cycle through your deck. So it's nice that this hit the Hela a little bit, and it hit the Thanos, the two, what most would say are probably the top decks in the game right now. This hits both of them pretty significantly, actually.
Yeah, I think statistically those were the top 3 decks: the Thanos Lockjaw, the Hela Lockjaw, and Darkhawk. And I think those were the top 3, just the best stats decks in the game. And they did a great job hitting all 3 of them. That's what I said. Overall, I really do like this OTA change for that reason. I think with Hela, it's interesting. It feels really bad. Like I said, I was playing some Zabu Hela today and losing Infinite Conquest to a Phoenix Force deck. With my Zabu Lockjaw Hela build, but it feels a lot worse. Like you said, kid, like the ability you definitely take for granted to just play the Lockjaw on 3 and Jubilee on 4. It feels like you're pretty much guaranteed to get some discards and for sure see Hela at that play line, and that's just totally dead now. And you don't want to play Zabu in a Lockjaw deck generally anyway, because Zabu can pop out a Lockjaw, and that also feels horrible. So. I do think it's a big hit to that specific build of Hela, but I do think Hela also can just build a deck without Lockjaw in it and be completely fine. So I don't think it's too big of a hit to Hela in general. But the top Hela build got hit massively. Yeah,
because now you have the Thanos Hela ones, right? With Corvus, the ramp Thanos that just have Hela as a backup plan.
Yep.
I don't think those decks played Lockjaw, right? I don't think they did.
I think they did. Yeah.
Did they? Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, that's gone.
No, it's not gone. It might not be gone. You could probably still play that, honestly.
Yeah.
Just without Lockjaw.
The one thing, did you guys listen to Kocha on the Snapchat earlier this week?
I think so. Yeah, I think I listened to it.
Okay,
week, yeah.
So Kocha is the man. I love that guy. He's great.
Shout out to Canadians. Yeah.
Hell yeah. I loved his idea for a Lockjaw change. I mean, they didn't do it obviously, but he had a really cool idea, which was
this is good.
Every time you put a card in Lockjaw loses power, like he gets tired or something.
Oh.
So that would be kind of cool if like every time you put a card in Lockjaw, like if he was a 3/2, keep him a 3/2, but he minuses 3 power.
Okay, I think he was saying -2, and I thought that would have been an awesome change, personally.
Yeah, he said -2. In my head, I'm saying -3 because you can get like fucking infinite, right? Like you have to punish the shit out of it. I
mean, you can, but is it a 3 -4? Like, say you use it 3 times, like it's a -4. Like it's better than a Green Goblin, like they just did to themselves.
Rolling the dice, baby.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I love that change. I would have preferred if they did that instead of this, but this is definitely a more harsh nerf. But meta, we got to shake it up. This Thanos deck is way too good. It's just clearly the best deck in the game, and it's the same list. Everyone's playing the exact same list. Shout out Torikun, but it's over, man. It's done.
Because it beats everything. It has answers to everything. It's so consistent. Good. It's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. And I'm so happy they didn't nerf Thanos. Those sons of bitches.
Yeah, it's nice for a change, right?
Yeah. Like not fucking, Reality Stone doesn't draw a card anymore. Like, fuck off. Mm-hmm. That's great. All right, so Lockjaw. Yeah, this is the one change that's going to shake up the entire meta, mostly. And the Darkhawk one, too. So it's really cool that they're hitting all the top decks with two changes. Swordmaster. He was a 3/6. Now he's a 3/7. I'll still play Chad over him. I don't know.
Oh. Hold on, kid, real quick. Sorry, you mentioned Alex Kocha earlier. Yeah. If you guys want to play like a fun drinking game during the snapshot, what do they call it? The snapshot?
Snapshot is KM Best. They're the Snapchat.
Snapchat. Yeah, I love Alex Kocha too. Cozy's great too. They have a great pod over there. But if you take a shot for each pen and each paper, for every time Alex Coaches says pen and paper. It's good. It's 10 out of 10 drinking game. Just pen and paper. Pen and paper this build. I pen and paper this build. When I get my pen and paper on this build, and he says it like at least 8-10 times. So you're gonna do it 8-10 shots every pod. If you do a shot for each pen and each paper on Snapchat. So that's a good drinking game. I just had to point that out. I've never heard anyone point that out yet. So
Well, Monday is my last day of work, of my stint of work. I got Tuesday off. Looks like Monday night's going to be Snapchat drinking.
I mean, you would, if you did it on this pod, you would absolutely die if you did it every time I said the word So you'd be dead like half hour into the pod. So in fairness.
Oh no, that's great. No, it's all love. It's all love. We talk shit. It's all right.
Yeah.
Maybe in like 5 years, Coach will come on this pod. Who knows? We'll see.
Oh yeah.
But
kids can dream. Kids can dream.
I would much rather him get some sleep. Doesn't sleep.
That's true. You have like a full-time job. Yeah.
All right. Let's go Sword Master. Was a 3-6 and now is a 3-7. I don't know. What do you guys think? You guys are discard guys.
Yeah,
I'm just like, fuck it, whatever.
Go ahead, Stanky.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say just adding that one. I mean, it even says it there too. Like this is just for the simple discard boys, the filthiest of casual people, right? I guess because I mean I only run them in a couple of my discard decks, so yay, like +1. And it's kind of what you were saying too, right? No big deal. The just trying to get the discard deck isn't strong enough. Does +1 really add to the needle? Well, probably not. So it's kind of like meh to me.
Yeah, and overall, again, it's like it's nice that they're like slowly building up the archetype slowly, right? Like I don't think this is going to push discard over the edge to be a really like competitive tier 1 deck anytime soon. But a 3-7 does feel nice, it's not the Chad. Let's be honest here, 3-8, the fucking Giga Chad. But 3-7's pretty cool, and is it like worth it to put in one of these lists now? I don't know. Maybe it is. No big deal. What do you think?
Yeah, I love this change. I think this is great. I love when they do this stuff instead of like the America Chavez stuff. Like, how about we give Quicksilver something like this instead of changing America Chavez as a side grade? Let's give Punisher +2 for each card. Instead of side grading Adam Warlock. Like, these are the kind of changes I really like in the game, and I think he's an option now. I think 3-7 feels really good. I messed around with him a little bit today at 3-7. It feels pretty good. I think the lockjaw was holding me down, but I played him in Hella even because the thing with Corvus in Hella is really risky because it hits 2 cards, so it's a really good chance of hitting your Hella. But if you got a casino roll on just 1 card, you got like 5 or 6 cards in your hand, you got a pretty good chance of just not hitting Hella. So I think of a 3-7 body on the board, so you kind of mitigate the the danger when people used to try to play Hell Cow in Hella. It's just always hits your Hella, and Corvus like a lot of the time hits your Hella, right? So I think he's interesting in Hella and in MODOK both builds, especially now that Proxima's in the game. So I like this change a lot. I know Nerf Herder already likes this card at a 3-6.
Yeah.
So shout out to him, and I'm definitely going to be experimenting with him personally. It's a Maximus stat line, and think of it this way: this card's better than old Maximus, straight up. Yeah. And Maximus was played.
That's true.
Draw your opponent 2 cards is crazy, like downside. This card a random card. Even if you put this in a non-discard deck, like it's better than old Maximus.
Speaking of Silver Surfer, a new Silver Surfer.
There you go.
Maybe it discards the Proxima,
Yeah.
Turns into a 3-9. That's pretty sick.
Boom.
Yeah. It's kind of cool. It's interesting. Yeah, I like how they're doing this. Like,
I mean, this card was completely unplayed, so I like when they just buff cards that are completely unplayed. I think that's a beautiful way to do the OTAs, and then the way they addressed Lockjaw and Darkhawk, like take down the power creep, buff up the shit cards. Let's keep doing that, and it's just gonna be a beautiful fresh meta all the time, and that's a world I want to live in, kids.
That's it. And yeah. So they're slowly building up discard, which is nice. And then another archetype they're slowly building up.
Yeah.
Next change, Vulture, baby. 3-3 when this card moves was a +5. Now +6. Get it in ya. This is pretty sick change. I love this. You move him once, he's a 3/9. Like now he's like a card that you can just throw down. And you don't have to worry about moving him before. He can just be a Heimdall play, you know? And it's a 3/9, which is pretty fucking sick.
Yeah.
You know, and still dodges Shang-Chi, which is awesome. Or you could just move him around and he's just like, you know, what is he? He's a 315 after 2 moves? That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy. You know, and like you were saying, Shuri Enjoyer, when he had that move bounce list, that was, you know, playing in top 20 ladder before this.
Yeah.
Now he's gonna have, now with this is gonna be, you know, ridiculous. Not ridiculous, but it's gonna be better. And so it's nice because move has been so shit for so long that they're slowly changing and slowly making things a little bit better. And so maybe, you know, it can be relatively playable, you know, to compete against some of the best decks, which is all you want. You don't want it to be the best in the world, but
Yeah.
to compete would be nice. And I think that is a really cool change. I'm about this.
Yeah, I love it, man. I love it. This is great. This is the same everything I just said about Swordmaster. Like, just, you know, you buff they've been buffing move for a while. I mean, Ghost Spider, Doctor Strange, Dagger, and now Vulture. Heimdall got a +1 as well. You know, get him up to that nice stat line there, 6/9. And yeah, like, you know, why not? Like, keep buffing move. That, you know, maybe they should buff Khazar. I think Khazar, Agatha. You know, I'm just saying Agatha should be 18 power. I'm just saying. And you know, I think that's a no-brainer. Change there, and maybe look at Khazar or something. I think Khazar's kind of weak, just as a card himself. And let's get these shit archetypes some love, and you know, spice up the metagame a little bit here.
Yeah. Outside of discard, yeah, for sure, like moves like the 1. So when I saw Vulture, it was like the very last card too. I was like you were saying, kid, like after 2, 350, like that's nuts. Like to have in the deck. And you already have like Dagger, like you're running that. So I'm probably gonna mess around probably with this as well on the weekend, just because you'll love me some move when it does work out, and then always sneak in Spider-Man 2099 because I'm that guy.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, he's been stuck in some lists lately. I mean, so like, you know, he's Spider-Man 29. The 5/9 body is no joke. I mean, I'm not saying he's like the best card in the game, but like 5/9 body is pretty cool. Then, especially if you just Heimdall on 6, if that's what you're doing turn 6, you know, which it's looking like move is getting a lot better with Heimdall on 6 now with all these changes, you know. So
all right, we referenced the deck a few times. I have it open here. Let me say it for the people. All right, for the audio listeners. All right, so you got Ghost Spider, Human Torch, Iron Fist. All right, so the 3 ones, and then you got Dagger, Beast, Doctor Strange, Falcon, Cloak, Vulture, Enchantress, spicy tech right there. This is probably just if you run into the Tribunal, they could actually beat them. And then Spider-Man 2099 and Heimdall. I did mess around with this list on ladder, and it felt like really sick. This is Shuri Enjoyer made this. He's playing in the top 20. And I don't know, it feels really good. And Dagger Vulture just got a buff. So yeah, you just, you know, add an extra, you know, 1 or 2 power on average, and that's pretty sick. That I would try that out, StankyKang, if you want to try a move list. The Shuri Enjoyer move. Like,
I literally just updated my deck as you were saying. I'm like, all right, got that, and then I'm like, yeah, the Enchantress is kind of cool too, right? So
yeah, that's spicy. I love
that.
And I think his logic is, hey, like if they're playing stuff you want to Shang-Chi, like you could just go bigger with Dagger and Vulture. You know, like your Dagger and Vulture just outpower the stuff instead of just playing Shang-Chi like a little bitch. You know, you just get a 30 power Dagger in that lane, and she fucking wins it on her own. So we don't need Shang-Chi, but you know, when when the lanes are 687 because they played Onslaught Mystique, Iron Man, and Tribunal in the same lane. Now that's 687 across the board. Yeah, you need Enchantress for that. So it's genius. It's genius deck design. And actually, I think this is one of the few decks where Beast at 2 might legit be a buff in this deck specifically.
That's great. I'm definitely gonna try it. I want to do some more Phoenix Force stuff, but I 100% want to try this deck because I saw it and I saved it in my phone. I'm like, yes, I'm gonna do this. It looks sick. Like Revis had a move when Hercules came out. He made a move bounce right away. That I think I have Revis's deck still in my thing, which is really cool. I mean, it's because he was trying to make Hercules work, but the rest of the stuff was cool. He had Human Torch. Yeah, it was nice. All right, no big deal. Why don't you recap everything? I've been drinking a lot of water. I'll be back in like 20 seconds.
All right, well,
recap
I mean,
the OTA. You and StankyKang.
Yeah, I don't really have the OTA in front of me, but I mean I like these OTAs. StankyKang, let's ask you this: what do you think is gonna be the new meta going forward?
Oh, that's so tough.
Yeah, it's kind of a tough question to just put you on the spot and ask, but yeah, I don't
But
know. What
yeah,
do you think?
okay, sorry, I was gonna pull up like all these changes real quick.
Well, I'm looking at it like I'll start then. I think like Thanos was the big bad boy. That was the top dog,
Right.
and I think he actually got hit the hardest. So Thanos going down is kind of interesting. I still think Hela is really good. You know, so people who hate Hela, I know a lot of this is like a Twitter thing, right? Like people, you know, I got Twitter now. I don't know if you know StankyKang, you know, the boy
Yeah, I
has Twitter
know.
now.
Rhino, Pixel Rhino.
You know, every time I log in, somebody's whining about Hela. So, like, there's a lot of Hela hate out there. I think she's still going to be a thing for sure. And I think Darkhawk nerf is actually a buff to Hela because I think that was a really rough matchup for Hela. I've been talking about it for weeks, but you don't want to play this game with rocks in your deck, right?
Right.
So like you want to see your Hela, you want to see your combo, and you know when you get rocks and Black Widow, Widow's Bite, all this stuff, it's tough. So you nerf Darkhawk, that might be good for Hela. And then so I don't know. I think Tribunal's going to be really good because it didn't get touched.
Not yet, yeah.
And I guess Loki's probably still pretty good, but I feel like Hela matches up pretty good against Loki. So I don't know if I'm as high on Loki as a lot of other people are, but I feel like the Hela deck's like, well, I guess it's maybe like a more even matchup because at least they get all your big shit and they can play it out.
Yeah, I think more people should play Annihilus decks. I think Annihilus is going to be like Annihilus, not really Annihilus Bounce or anything, but I think even the Annihilus Darkhawk decks are still going to be pretty damn good decks.
Mm-hmm.
Hela's going to be good, still less consistent. Tribunal is like a deck that like if it starts getting out of hand, like you just tech in Enchantress and Super Scroll and you just beat the deck, right? Like, and then you also just tech in like location changes because they need turn 7 most of the time.
Yeah,
and you beat them on it, right? So
yeah.
like
I think it's more targeted at Hela specifically. That deck.
Yeah, no, of course,
Yeah.
it is because it shits on Hela, right? So
yeah, it's just tough for the Hela player to play location change. Like I tried playing an Ench in my Hela deck today, and like it did not feel good. You know, you just lose to Phoenix Force. You know, if you do
no,
that.
of course, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, the meta is gonna be pretty wide open because like Thanos, it's just because that Thanos deck was just so good. So now it's not. So it's good. I don't know. I like it. It's gonna be pretty sick.
Gonna see a power vacuum, right, with that deck leaving, and then I mean I'll probably run this Corvus Ramp. I don't think that was touched, right? Any of this? Little Jimmy deck.
No. Of course,
Right?
Ramp's probably better now than ever. You know.
That's what I'm saying, right? Yeah, because like
all these decks getting nerfed is I think good for that Ramp list. Like Ramp was untouched completely.
Yeah. Let's talk about some spotlight caches. For the people out there. StankyKang, you can give your great informed opinion here on what you think the people out there should buy. This week, what do you think about this week? It's Proxima, MODOK, and Dakin or Dakin, whatever.
So I mean, we talked this pod, right? We all like Proxima. Like, I just bought her with my key actually this week, or sorry, with collector coins this week because I just like discard cards. But I mean, I love that MODOK variant right there.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's way better than the ones I had. And feeling edgy, that the Dakin's pretty good. But yeah, I mean, if you like discard, like for sure, like I would snag Proxima with your key. But I think the upcoming weeks, right, like next month is like the next week to worry about, or what you want to use some what's called again, your collector coins there. So
we'll get into that StankyKang, don't you worry.
Yeah, I mean, this week I think if you like discard, you're a discard enjoyer, 100% go for it. If you don't have MODOK, you pretty much roll your tokens. Yeah. If you don't care about discard, skip this week.
Yeah,
you're not going to miss Proxima. You're not going to miss Proxima.
If we're comparing weeks to weeks, this is probably one of the shittier ones, honestly.
Probably the shittiest one.
Yeah, it's bad. Like MODOK and Dakin are Series 4 cards, so they only cost 3k tokens. And, I don't think Proxima is tier 1 right now. Now, it hasn't been out that long. People are trying her and all kinds of different stuff. Seems like a very good card. Don't get me wrong, but it's still a discard card. So I think if you're lower on resources, I think this is a pretty easy skip. And I think same with last week, right? So, you save up tokens for a couple weeks, and there's going to be some bangers coming up pretty soon. So.
Yeah, no, I agree. Save your shit if you don't like discard.
Yeah.
That's
Me
it.
and StankyKang, like, we love discard.
Play
so
discard.
it's just, I skip Super Giant so I could buy the freaking discard cards. Like, I don't need to turn my opponent's cards face down. That's what let me chop some shit up. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm suffering from that week. Yeah, I got it. I try to be big brain. I got to be more simple brain. Simple discard. The cards like that. Too big brain of a card for me.
Wait, just hide that Modok. Turn 5. That's it. All right. So next week is gonna be. We'll go next week and then the week after. But next week is gonna be pretty nice. Next week the new season starts. So number 1, you get Hope Summers, who's a 3/3. Whenever you play a card here, get +1 energy next turn. And then in the spotlight caches, you have Pixie, who's a 2/1.
Oh my god! I didn't realize they put Pixie as week 1. I thought that was later on in the season.
Yeah, Pixie with Hope Summers.
About to pop off.
This is like in 4 days, dude. This is gonna be like sick.
Oh my god!
Wow. Yeah, it's gonna be insane.
No.
So Pixie's on reveal. Shuffle the cost of all cards in your deck that started there. Then you have Spider Ham, and then you have Mobius and Mobius. So your costs are going to get shuffled, and if you have Mobius and you play Mobius, that means every card that you had in your deck that increased in power, like say you had Spider Ham in your deck, that he got shuffled, then he went from a 1 to a 6. He comes back down to a 1 with Mobius, and your other 6 drops that went down to a 1 power, they stay that way. So, but then if your opponent plays Mobius, it screws your Pixie, too. But I don't know, man. Mobius is a good tech card in this spotlight cache. He's worth getting. Spider Ham's decent, especially in like bounce lists. He's in almost all the bounce lists. He's not like phenomenal, but he's pretty good. But he's a Series 4 card, so Mobius and Spider Ham are Series 4. They're probably better off with tokens. Pixie is such a hard card to evaluate. I don't know if it's going to be great or if it's just going to be like shit or like just like random. Like is it going to be like Mr. Negative, which is like sometimes unreal, but like I don't know. It's hard.
It does have a bit of a Grandmaster feel to it, right? Where it's like, well, all the possibilities, and then like, what if we just play it and we're like, all right, this is dog. It's a 2/1. It's dog shit. Like, what are we doing? Like, just like play Jeff, But yeah, I think I thought this was coming later in the month, so I hope my Adam Warlock rant wasn't misguided. I genuinely do think that he probably does go in the Pixie deck. Adam Warlock right now, dog shit as a 5/4, not playable, horrible card. Might be pretty good in the Pixie deck specifically. Also, I wonder if you still play Lockjaw with Pixie. And I think you might, honestly, because you throw some zeros in the deck. I feel like you're gonna want some zeros. Do we know how it works yet or no?
No. Like in what sense? I think it's like whatever. Yeah, I think it's like whatever your cards cost, then it shuffles those costs.
It shuffles the existing cost. It doesn't just randomize a bunch of random numbers.
I think.
Yeah, I mean, if that's the case, I think we're going to want some zeros and probably some 6s, right? And if we got zeros and 6s, we're going to want to play Lockjaw, And, I think Pixie's just going to naturally fit into a Lockjaw deck. And I don't think she'd care too much if he's a 4/5 either, because you just play him on 4 with a 0, and you're big chilling, right? Probably throw Thor and Beat Ray in there, like we're cooking,
Yeah, I don't know.
That's probably where I'm gonna start.
This card's either going to be pretty good or it's going to be dog shit. Mm-hmm. And I would say, okay, if we're going to like our recommendations for spotlights, I would say don't buy this right away. Wait.
Yeah, this is a hard wait.
This is a card that you have to wait. You're gonna if you're like let us idiots get it first, and then waste our resources, and then tell you that it's shit. Mm-hmm. On how could you snap here, and then and you hear us be sad, and then you get to keep your resources. But this is one I would say 100% wait. Don't roll right away. Wait a few days, and then if it's good, you'll know right away. Like we'll be saying, "Hey, this is fucking broken," and then we'll be saying, "Maybe don't get it because it's gonna get nerfed." StankyKang, what do you think?
No, exactly. I mean, I'm all for the chaos. So I'm like, I was like, look at that card. I'm like, I want to see what that card does, right? Chaos, and like what Hope Summers comes out like that week too. So like mixing both those together. But yeah, no, I agree. Like, let's kind of see how it works because I didn't get Grandmaster right, and like I was like, oh, it seems like a really cool card to play and everything. Be really fun. Not not sad.
Strong skip, well played.
Yeah.
Strong pass. So we'll see. Like you said, I kind of want to see how it works too, with like the shuffling of like the it's called like cost and everything, and yeah, lockjaw. But like I said, I kind of jumped the gun earlier, right? With like Adam Warlock, is this like where Adam Warlock finally belongs with this kind of deck, right? Get those extra draws. So
Yeah, and then this is the kind of card too that seems like you want to draw it early. Like if you're drawing this on 5, like it kind of sucks, right? Even turn 4 kind of sucks. You want to play it earlier. And but I will say, in the interest of the Filthy Casual podcast, this looks like a ton of fun. This card just looks like fun as fuck, right? It's gonna be ridiculous. It's gonna be hilarious. Like I'm gonna have a lot of fun playing it. But yeah, whether it's gonna be good, who knows?
I think definitely this is not a season pass to skip. I think you're gonna want Hope Summers. I might be wrong, but oh man, that card seems insane.
It seems pretty damn good.
Yeah,
I agree.
And I'm excited. I'm excited to mess around. I'll definitely be day one messing around with Pixie for sure. Probably won't use my keys, honestly. I might just burn the tokens again. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know.
Yeah, and if you skip Pixie, then you're gonna want to buy the next week's card, Mockingbird, who's a 5/9, who's gonna replace Lockjaw on the Thanos list and become a 0/9 instead of Lockjaw. So Mockingbird's a 5/9, costs 1 less for each card you have in play that didn't start in your deck. Again, this card, they're gonna change this card, right? Like this is just fucking broken beyond belief.
Yeah. So I don't know. StankyKang, have you seen this card before?
No, yeah, I haven't actually. I only knew like Pixie was coming out.
So basically, like with this card, anything that's on the board, I think that's where they think they're balancing it, right? Because it has to be on the board, right? That didn't start in your deck, she gets reduced by 1 cost. So if you do like Squirrel Girl, she's a 3/9. If you do Brood Absorbing Man, she's a 1/9. If you play the deck Thanos, each stone doesn't start in your deck. So every time you play a stone, she goes down 1 cost, and she's 9 power. It's absolutely fucking absurd. This card.
So like ninjas and raptors and
I was just gonna say that next. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
it's gonna be pretty quick.
Central Park makes her -3.
Yeah.
She's a 2/9.
If you get the mining thing too, you don't have to skip like that one turn. It's like
Yeah.
Card, right?
Yeah, mine's she's a 1/9. Yeah.
Yeah, play and then just skip the next turn. Yeah. That's hilarious. The rocks. I didn't even think of that one.
Yeah, this card is just ridiculous. And like, okay, Thanos is gonna get a lot worse, and then you're like, oh, what Lockjaw? Here's a 0/9.
Well, to your point, kid, bring it back to the spotlight keys talk. If she does not get changed, this is gonna be the week you want to spend your keys.
Yeah.
Miss Marvel's in there too. If you didn't pick up Miss Marvel that season, if you skip that season pass, great staple card to pick up. And then Man Thing's a lot more niche, but it's decent sometimes. He has his uses.
Yeah. Dope variant
go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's a dope variant for Miss Marvel. It's like one of her more famous comic book covers.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. I think it's really cool. Yeah, Man Thing's kind of a cool card, but not a great card, unfortunately. And he's Series 3 anyway, so you can just buy, or Series 4, sorry. So you can just buy him with tokens. And I think with the meta now, with them nerfing Lockjaw and all the broken, mana cheat, power cheat stuff, then we're gonna go back to the old faithful broken cards like a 4/14 Miss Marvel. So she might come back in the meta, so she might be a good pickup this week. But who knows where the meta will be? But like a 5/9 that can easily be a 2/9 seems like a no fucking brainer to pick up.
It could be a 0/9. Like it doesn't even say can't give you less than 1. I mean, it's not going to be very difficult to get her to 0.
Yeah, I think if they even nerf this card to a 5/7, it's still ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, but that's more reasonable. I hope they do that.
Yeah. So those are the next couple weeks coming up. This card even this Mockingbird card, like for sure, especially if you don't have Miss Marvel, like you roll your keys for this easily.
Mm-hmm.
It's a no-brainer roll.
Yeah.
Pixie week, I think you wait because you can always pick up Spider-Ham and Mobius in the token shop, 3K tokens. Mm-hmm. And Pixie's like, we don't know if they're going to be good. And then Proxima week this week, if you like this card, great. If you don't, skip it.
Skill.
All right. Well, we have one more little thing to do here.
Oh, baby.
StankyKang. No big deal. You want to introduce this?
All right, so we've made our way to the AI art section. As we know, AI is taking over the world, and we're all going to be in the movie iRobot pretty soon. But in the meantime, let's have some fun with the robots. And, they actually do make some pretty beautiful artwork. And so what we like to do on this show, especially when we have guests, is the kid, he types in a phrase or a saying or maybe a deck into AI and have it automatically, artificially generate an image. And we, the guests, myself and StankyKang, are going to have to guess what deck it is exactly. So, he could just type in something like Darkhawk and an extremely obscure image of a flying dark fish flying through the sea. It might be, that's what AI decided was the Darkhawk deck. So we got to figure that out. We got to talk through it. And so it's just a really fun game to just kind of fuck around and have a good time.
Yeah. Some of these might be not repeats, but like stuff StankyKang probably hasn't seen. No big deal. You might have seen. So I'll tell you when, let him guess first.
Okay.
But yeah, and some of these will be cards as well, or like characters.
Okay, so
but most of them are decks. This first one here is a deck archetype. So just go.
Okay. Dark art.
And yeah, on this one too, I also forgot to point out this is what we were going to do on the Kier Nimbus AI art. But we're 2.5 hours in, and I kind of pussied out at the end there, so that's on me. I think the kid and Kier Nimbus were ready to go to a 3-hour podcast, but I just my stamina was out. So.
All right.
So while we talk through it, StankyKang, let me describe this one for the audio listeners, and the next one you got to describe it for the audio listeners. All right. Okay. So we got an inflatable castle. Looks like a good time. It's got like kind of candy cane, cotton candy type of colors. We got the pastels. So we got pastel green, pastel pink, and it's a big blow up bouncy castle. It's like for the kids, so the kids have a good time. But it looks like it's in like a school gymnasium or something like that, which is like a weird setting for it to be in. It's not on somebody's lawn, but that's kind of where I'm at with this. What do you think, StankyKang?
Inflatable yeah, I mean, it's very colorful and soft. I thought it was like a studio area because they have like all like the lighting there. I have no clue what kind of deck that is.
I'm thinking like my first thing that pops in my head is like Lockdown, because it's like, I don't know, it's like it's in it's locked down in I don't know, like
castle.
Yeah, well the fact that it's a blow up bouncy castle is throwing me off.
I can't say anything.
The Marvel Snap decks, like what do you think?
Yeah, I'm trying to think too.
Ideas?
No, I'm trying to think of all the decks. Where would you have inflatable castle with stone? No, it can't be. It has nothing to do with like the Infinity Stones, right? With like the color.
That's what I was thinking too. The balls could on the bottom, because there are colorful balls. So they could be the Infinity Stones. Yeah. Maybe it's Thanos Lockdown.
Wrong.
Damn.
Wrong.
Can we have a hint?
Yeah, you said it about 5 times.
It's just Lockdown?
Nope.
I don't know. What did we say?
What kind of castle is it?
Oh, a bounce.
Yes.
Oh.
It's a bounce house. It's a bouncy house.
The bounce.
You said it's a big blow up bouncy house. When you're describing, I'm like, fuck, he got it right away. I'm like, damn it. I'm like, this was too easy.
I did say the word bounce about 7 times. You're right, but
yeah, I'm like, damn it.
It clicked in my brain.
You're like, it's a big bouncy house, Then you're like, StankyKang, what are you there? I thought you were tossing it over to him to be like, to let him get it, because I thought you figured it out right away. Anyways, yeah, bounce.
We're struggling.
Right, 0 for 1. All right.
You guys are good. Yeah. Rally. All right, StankyKang, you gotta talk this one out.
Oh, okay.
This one's pretty easy.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, so it's it looks like it's in a jungle type area. There's tigers, some elephants. It's safari, a bunch of like, what was that? The forest is overgrown into a city already. I think I know what this one is. Safari. It's got to be something with a zoo deck. And is that like Zabu?
Zoo.
Also,
It's zoo. That's it.
Beautiful landscape.
Yeah.
Beautiful landscape for sure.
Beautiful.
You got it.
Hang
Yeah,
that
cool,
up.
actually.
Wonder
Yeah.
One.
Boom. Nailed it. All right. Next one. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So for
This one's
the
pretty
audio
easy.
listeners, we got Dr. Manhattan from the movie Watchmen. He is flying through. Actually, I think Dr. Manhattan's like. I think he's got a piece in that movie. I don't remember actually. I haven't seen.
Yeah,
it in
he's
while,
got
but-
a Drake situation going on.
Yeah. This one does not. This is a little more G-rated. So we got G-rated Dr. Manhattan flying through the sky. Really, he's in the outer space almost. He's in the galaxy flying through. That's about it. Like he's floating around. He's the clouds, the space, everything's out there. He's glowing. Yeah, man, he's looking really powerful. I'm thinking Silver Surfer. Is the first thing that comes to my head. What do you think, Stanky?
That's fair. I mean, it kind of looked like Zero to me.
Oh, Zero. Yeah, I was thinking Silver Surfer, but yeah, it could be Zero.
No, but he's not surfing. But yeah, I know. I see what you're saying. I'm trying to think of what deck that would be too. Some guy. Oh, give me a Space Stone deck. Yeah, I'm kind of drawing a blank on this one too. This one's tough.
He does look like Zero for sure. He also just could be the Living Tribunal is another thing as well, but just because it's just his aura,
almighty being, right?
I mean, that deck's been fucking me up. My guess is Silver Surfer personally. What do you want to try that as a guess, StankyKang, or no?
Yeah, we'll lock it in. You see, very on to the Silver Surfer.
I don't know.
Correct.
I mean, he's silver. He's
correct.
Oh,
yeah, all right, yeah.
Correct.
You got
it.
It just looked like Silver Surfer.
Yeah, the stupid A would not give him a surfboard, so I was like, whatever. I was like, I'm just gonna throw him in there.
He's
It's
got
whatever.
a little something on his feet there. He's a little something.
Hey, he's got a little. Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on to the next one here. Okay, this one's for StankyKang only.
Okay, and also Stanky, you gotta also describe it for the audio listener.
Of course. So it's a lady, and she's an astronaut. It looks like she's wearing a spacesuit. It's green. It looks like she's somewhere. Let's call it like some sort of canyon area in space. But obviously, I think I know what this one is. This was your she not deck.
Nailed it.
Nice.
Got it. Yeah. And she got the green in there too for the She-Hulk,
Oh, she
showing
naughty.
out there. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, she naughty deck.
So yeah, that was pretty good. All right, this one also probably for StankyKang.
Okay.
Go, StankyKang, describe it.
Yeah, it just looks like Drake right now. No, it's got this big, majestic black bird standing. But shout out. This actually should be in black and white. So R.I.P. It's a Dark Hawk deck.
Yeah, that's it.
Just
Just a Dark Hawk. Yeah,
Just a Dark
5/4.
Hawk.
He's hanging out with Devil Dino and Ronin now.
I mean, he has 4 talons, but he should have 5 now. So all right, this one we'll see what you guys think about this one.
Whoa. All right, so we have a Chad rushing towards the camera. His long locks flowing in the wind. He reminds me of that guy from back in the day, Fabio. I don't know if you guys remember Fabio. I've never been much of a book reader myself, but I think he was on the cover of a bunch of books, like those romance novels. He's just got long blonde flowing hair, and he's really jacked. I mean, this dude is straight up just zooming towards the camera. So something fast, some sort of fast deck. There's buildings and sky in the background too. Looks like we're outdoors here.
Are you saying he's moving, like some sort of move deck?
Ooh.
But I don't know, why is he blonde? No, it's like not the Sentry or anything, right?
Oh wow, yeah, I didn't think of that.
I could just be going too deep.
The move sounds pretty good, but no, it wouldn't be Sentry Bounce because he's not bouncing, right? Like the bounce house. But I like move. I think that's a good guess, man. Let's go with that. What do you think?
We'll lock and move.
Move.
Correct.
Oh!
Correct.
Yeah,
look.
You gotta be
that's
confident.
good.
You gotta be confident with those,
Man, look at his hair. It looks like his hair is like flying off his head. It looks like a toupee, like it's coming off. Like it's just
not only does he have a toupee, but he also just has like a really nice head of hair, like naturally as well. I don't know why he's got both. You know, no.
Yeah, just dressing nice, right?
Bro, like, what are you doing? If you got it, flaunt it. Like, what are you doing, bro?
Bro's moving too fast. His hair's coming off.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, here we go.
So, okay, StankyKang, describe it for the people.
Jeez. Okay, so it's Thanos.
PG.
And, you know, he's just sitting down. He looks like he's in some sort of like outdoor area. There's some flowers, some green around him. And in front of him, there's some, how should I describe it? Looks like some sort of like limbs. I don't know. I've seen this in some sort of Drake Twitter video before. It's like
God damn it.
massive thing in front of him. Some Maxine.
He need a Maxine.
So it's a Thanos deck. But like, what type of Thanos deck would be?
I'm thinking zoo. I'm thinking Thanos zoo.
Oh, he's in the zoo?
That's my guess. I see
That's pretty good, yeah.
Flowers. I see some trees.
Kind of looks like an ape.
Yeah. Hey, he just looks real sad, honestly. I think he looks like he's just he looks like the snap like went wrong. Like he snapped and he snapped himself. Like he lost the 50-50, you know? Like
it's like what animal looks good in a zoo, man? What animal's happy they're in a zoo? Just the same thing.
Yeah, he's like, it looks like the animals, exactly. He looks like he doesn't feel too good, Mr. Stark. Like, you know, that's what he looks like. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think about Thanos Zoo?
Oh, I love the Thanos Zoo, right? The outdoor things. We will lock it in.
Thanos Zoo is correct.
Yeah.
With the suggestive tree that I didn't realize until now.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Drake got way too many shout outs on the podcast.
We're getting canceled. We're getting taken down.
Yeah. I need a win.
It was a good run. All right. I think we got two more, and these are probably my two favorite and less obvious, I would say.
Okay.
So, all right, and pretty specific decks.
All right. So looks like a bit of a toxic wasteland, but it's all pink. You know, it's kind of like the Super Snap Bros YouTube aesthetic. You know, if you ever go to our YouTube channel, it's kind of the same colors, like synth wavy, neon pink type of colors. The sky's pink. There's an explosion. It looks like a big chemical explosion in the background, and looks like kind of a industrial wasteland on the bottom with like kind of a river flowing through the middle. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's that sounds kind of tough. I'm thinking something toxic, some sort of hazmat, something StankyKang, but I don't know. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Unless it's just casual, like Barbieheimer kind of like propaganda going on here, but yeah,
Maybe
I mean, that makes sense, right?
Like, is there an explosion toxic? Like, is there anything that's toxic but it explodes, or I don't know? Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just thinking.
Like
Kenji. Is that Kenji?
Yeah. He's like,
show him on the camera. That's a good
little
kitty. For audio listeners, StankyKang showing his kitty Kenji. He's a new kitty. Yeah, I'm thinking. Oh man, I mean, it's not junk. Like, there kind of is some junk in here too.
Junk everywhere. I mean, the pink is throwing me off. Pixie junk deck.
Yeah, but AI, you know, they're creative too. Like, you know, we don't think so, but you know, they're based off humans, right? So they're creative.
You got guesses? You want a hint?
What do you think, Stanky? What do you think?
Well, if there's a hint, we'll take the hint.
Well, hold on. I want to guess. Just what's it called? Just like just toxic, like affliction, like toxic affliction deck.
Nope.
Oh,
not.
Right.
It's not toxic. It's not junk.
Was that the hint?
Yep.
Fuck. All right, you got to do the next guess, Kevin.
Yeah. What? Okay, so it's interesting, right? Something that's a pink bomb.
Like an
color
explosion.
The color matters.
Oh, do you think it's like the Nimrod Destroyer deck?
Oh,
like
there you go. That's got to be it. Nice.
That's it. Yeah, Nimrod Destroyer.
Nice, dude. That's sick.
I was like, the pink, yeah.
The color matters. Got it for Kevin there for sure.
Yeah,
I'm definitely calling my Destroyer deck now Barbieheimer after just like looking at this. That's really what it is.
This is actually hilarious as a Nimrod destroy. I love that they spit this out. This is great.
Pretty good, right? Yeah.
Like that's just what it looks like in real life when Nimrod blows up. Like
exactly.
if you're standing like a couple kilometers away, that's what you see.
Yeah. A couple miles for the Americans.
Yeah.
All right, last one. This one, I think this one was kind of my favorite one, actually. I kind of really like this one. I thought it was kind of cool what the AI did.
All right, Stanky, describe it for the people.
All right. So basically, it's a big red dumpster truck. It seems to be set in a medieval castle area with a bunch of bats there. Let's just see if there's anything else to describe on that. No, that's kind of about it, right? So, I mean, when I see the bats in the castle, right, I'm just thinking like Dracula and all that stuff.
Yeah, but then we got this huge truck here, right?
I know, yeah. Why would it be a truck?
Yeah. That is interesting. Yeah, there is the Dracula castle in the background. Yeah.
Or the bats. I can't think of anything with bats. Yeah,
Oh my god! It's Dracula Dump.
It is, yeah. Dracula Dump.
That's crazy.
It's a dump truck.
Yeah, Dracula Dump. That's hilarious. Well, Kev, I'm happy you said the word Dracula because I probably wouldn't have got to Dracula.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't really know
the that's freaking great.
Yeah, but the dump
awesome.
truck, yeah, I do know. Oh, that's great. That's hilarious, man. AI game is awesome.
Yeah, this was cool. I liked it. That's great. StankyKang, good job, man. Good job. What'd you guys missed two? That's pretty sweet.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
I like it. All right, well, yeah, we're almost at 2 hours here. StankyKang, thanks for coming on, man. We'll see you on the streets. Anything you have to say to the people?
No, thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it. You know, like I said, yeah, if you're ever 313, that's all you hit me up on the socials. So
that's it. No big deal. Before you close us out, I want to say, you know, a good friend of the pod, Nerfherder, he started his own podcast now called About to Snap. You know, him and Prashant. So that's a great show. Go and check them out. You know, it's, you know, definitely not as good as this podcast for sure. You know, they're, you know, not as funny. They're not as witty. It's the production's a lot worse. You know, it's you know, much worse in every single way. But, you know, just throw them a bone and go listen to their podcast. It's you know, it's just fucking great. I loved it. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I watched the first ep, and yeah, they did talk some shit about every other pod on there. So I appreciate you dishing it back to them. But yeah, no, it's fun. It's shorter for sure. I mean, you could say that, right? If you don't have time, like, you know, check out theirs, right? And you don't have 2 hours set aside, right? So
yeah, YouTube and Spotify. They have it up on Spotify too. So it's called About to Snap. It's awesome. I like it.
Yeah, it's like a first take type of show where they kind of debate about stuff, and yeah, it's pretty fun. Yeah. So yeah.
With that, no big deal. Close us out, baby.
I had lots of fun. Thanks, StankyKang, for coming on. You're the man. You know, I shout you out probably once every other week. I just give you a random shout out. So you know, it's nice to finally have you on. And yeah, sorry to everybody if you know, if you were hyped like me and you thought Proxima was gonna be S tier. You know, I apologize. You know, I get a little excited with discarded cards, and you know, I might have whipped on that one. But you know, have some fun. New meta, new patch. You know, they hit the Thanos. They hit the dog. RIP Doggo. We have to put a good boy down, and you know, I want him to be remembered for the good times. And so, you know, RIP the Lockjaw, the goodest boy.
Love it. And one more thing, no big deal. Nice glasses. No big deal. Got jealous of Gunny T last week and had to get some new shades. So finally stepping up. Production value slowly but surely is going up here on this podcast. We're getting there. But anyways, good boy Lockjaw. Peace.